Ah, finally.
Creeping me out, man. Apex Comics Studios. Oh
Well,
yeah.
hell. Welcome to
Oh,
Apex After Dark. Thank you.
hello, hello, hello.
I'd like to welcome, of course, Devil Flyer Rex, my co-host, and the Sharpo, Marco Sharpo, the Mark Zuga, Marcus Sharpo. Hello, Marco.
Hey, Marco.
Will do. Hello, everybody.
Oh, well,
Ah,
let's say hello to the mighty chat came in. Of course, Marco was first, and there comes
hail, hail.
Bobby.
Hey,
The
Bobby.
hell.
Yo.
If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and ring bell for notifications. Wonderful people. And there you go. And finally, we have you on here. I've been talking a little bit on the chat on some of the other channels, and it's good to have you on. So
Absolutely.
I
Oh,
We
of
think
like to.
course.
yeah.
Are you
So
are you on Indiegogo? You have a sign up? What's going on?
hey, Cheryl.
Funny. I'm still actually stuck.
Hey,
Hey, Cheryl. Hail, hail.
hey,
Anyway,
Cheryl.
Yeah.
I'm actually starting up on the idea. Actually, as for the
Okay.
Indiegogo part, I'm still under construction.
All right.
So, but I do have content to share. Some art, maybe.
Okay.
Well, lots of it is in Instagram, but I have some clips into to share screen once this conversation starts after a few introductions here and there, and actually talking about this upcoming comic project I'm actually making here. Believe it or not, it's an American manga hybrid comic project, but it's not made in America. The American part, it's just there. But technically, it's made in the Philippines.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you
Okay.
you are you are from the Philippines, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, most of
Oh,
the comic
cool.
greats are also here in the Philippines. Surprisingly, Steve Glenn, who made the first Star Lord.
Okay. Oh, interesting. That's cool.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of artists that come out of the
Yeah.
Philippines.
Nectar Nestor Redondo, who drew Swamp Thing. I believe he's from the Philippines. Did he say not?
Oh yeah, he is. So also Eric Canete, who's
Yeah,
also in
Kennedy.
Comicsgate now. Yeah.
I don't
Right.
know if Luis Dominguez was or not. I'm not sure where
Was he?
Luis came from. That's going way back.
God, right.
Oh,
Eh,
That's true.
70s, early 70s horror and stuff for Marvel and stuff.
Hey,
Did,
Bobby.
did that or
oh yeah.
DC Comics.
See ya.
Hey, Bobby.
How you doing?
Ladies and
Whoops.
What's
gentlemen,
going
the
on, kid?
great Bobby Christophas.
Hey,
How you
Bobby
doing, guys?
Christophas.
Hey,
Welcome. Welcome. Welcome.
how you be? Tony Dziniga? Is that how you say his last name? And he's from the Philippines as
Tony,
well.
Tony Sudica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Sudica,
yeah.
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 Yep,
Yeah.
another great one.
I
But
know,
hey, how
right?
are you guys?
Yeah.
I'm doing all good. How are you?
You got enough to drink there, Bobby?
Yeah, I go through like 2 or 3 of these a day. I'm actually drink a lot of water.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
good. That's good.
that's right.
Unless you're in Mexico, I hear. But, they tell you not to drink the water down there. But it can't all be
Bottled
bad.
water.
No, I'm actually in New York, but we're not exactly known for the most sparkling water up here either. So
Yeah. Well, as long as it doesn't have Detroit lead in
Yeah.
it or anything like that, I think you're okay.
New York
Oof.
Springs. How about
Yeah.
that?
Or
That
flammable Michigan water.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not good. Okay, so guys, Marco. I guess you know Bobby. I'm assuming, right? You guys collaborate or anything like that, or you just met?
On
Or,
we just actually met. I met to another channel that actually who's a good friend with Rini that was featured and was watching this guy named Von Coleman. And from Von Coleman, I met this guy.
Okay.
It's true. It's
Well,
true.
I
can
feel
vouch.
your pain.
All right.
You know Vaughn too?
No, I don't know Vaughn. Does he have a YouTube
he-
channel? I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, he got featured in Rini's draw stream sometime,
Oh,
or was it
okay.
a draw stream at one time? I'm not sure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Reenie's something else. She's a talent all into herself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She
Talk
is.
about world building. I mean, she's
She's a powerhouse.
a
Like,
powerhouse. She's been,
Yeah.
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 Even I feel dwarfed.
I call her the CG Queen because she won Fragtober the year before last.
Yeah, she did.
Oh yeah, that's
work.
right.
You know, beat Aaron Lepresti. Beat. You know, I mean, outdrew. You know, Dan Fraga. He was out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, some greats, man. Some great professionals. I mean, you got to be
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
skilled for that. She brought her A game.
She really does.
absolutely.
I love seeing that stuff because it showed you her wide range of stuff, not just her book art on Fiendish. You know, she drew Frankenstein and some other great pieces during that draw off. It was awesome. It was awesome to really see Reenie's drawing ability.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I bet.
Her dethroning was pretty legendary though, at the hands
Yeah.
of Coach Malin. That was
Yeah.
a pretty nice. That was a pretty funny moment.
I missed that this year, but I heard about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
I
was
think I
something.
was. I think I was there front seats for that. No one expected that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely did.
I think Malin wanted another belt, you know. And let's face it, it wasn't every day last year. It was like only so many days, right?
It's like 13 days this year. I
So
believe.
he kind of had at least a fighting chance with the great Reenie.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, Malin he may disagree with that, but oh well. He likes
Probably.
ham over bacon anyway, so he's a
Oh, yeah.
flat earther. So what can you say?
What do you know? Flat Earth.
Well, in the words of the great Malin, he was king in shit.
Is this one of your characters on your icon?
Oh, actually, believe it or not, that's my independent studio logo. When I say independent, it's literally a storage room with a table and a bunch of sketchbooks. That's my
Gotcha.
studio.
Can we
Hey,
can we
that's-
blow that up, Apex?
Yeah.
Let's take a
Let's see
bigger
it.
look
See,
at that.
see what you have, man.
When you get
Oh.
my age, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
show your
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, look at that.
Are
Yeah,
you
I was
ready?
actually.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
basically a coat of arms. I was just toying around with some
Hey,
weird
James.
applications.
James Hayes.
Hey, James. Yeah, it's a weird application, and then I didn't like the application, so I decided I'm gonna yank it out. You get a sketchbook, be like, you know what? Screw the application. I'm gonna make my own logo and put tentacles over it. There, now it's original.
Looks good. Hell Hydra. They got
And I-
tentacles, don't they?
They do.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Hundreds of them, and in my
Mhm.
case, it's basically I'm one guy with 100 ideas. So basically, I cannot give up trying to be a next comic book artist myself.
A tentacle
So-
for each
So
idea.
manga has made a big impact on you. How about you, Bobby? Has it made a big impact on you, or less so? Or
I mean,
I see your Marvel omnibuses in the background.
Wow, look at that. Let me look at your background here. Let's take a
Oh,
look at that.
You know,
Yeah, I got
Wow.
quite a few books here.
Mad
Yeah.
Magazine. Yeah,
Mad.
Oh,
I
that's a
can-
good essential
That's
there.
a nice selection of books.
few
Got,
figures. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Got-
actually, figures. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Oh, I got way more. When I clean this place up, like you can't see it, but like there's a good like 10 feet each way. I just have tons of mostly Batman, some
Do you
Ultimate
mind-
Warrior. Yeah.
Oh, do you mind showing that, or is that going to be too hard for you to show that right now? Or
Well, I
is
do-
it, oh,
I would, but the only problem
Put
is
him
my
on
cam.
the spot.
oh,
I only have a
Okay.
little like wire attached to this thing, so it really doesn't have enough.
I don't.
Yeah,
Two
I don't want to
cans
mess
and
you
a
up.
string. We got it.
Yeah.
I'm
I understand.
planning on making a video and showing it all off. But there's a
Great.
lot of stuff down here.
If you've got 10
Hey.
feet in every direction there, I doubt you're in Manhattan because I don't think they got 10 feet between them.
No, it's I'm out in Queens. It's on the border of Nassau and Queens, like Long Island and Queens. Yeah, not
Hell,
the,
Andy.
Okay.
Hey,
yeah,
Andy.
totally.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not a manga guy, to answer your
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Well, you're a Mad Magazine guy, so you're solid with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sergio
Oh,
Gomez is just awesome. You know, I asked for his autograph, and within 2 seconds, he had it back in my hand with a little remark of Gru. He's
Oh,
quick.
who is this?
Sergio
Oh,
Gomez.
Sergio
Oh.
Gomez.
I know
I
I
him.
met
Yeah.
him too in the 90s. He's really
He's
good.
quick.
That's a legend there. That's a legend.
He
Yeah.
is a legend. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I
I
miss when
think he
Mad was
could
big.
produce a year's worth of comics in 1 month. He's that quick.
Possibly. Yeah, with his
Yeah.
style, you can do that.
Yeah, with his style. Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
He's a quick sketch guy. Simple
Yes.
characters.
Speaking
And
of
some of his
style,
stuff's been in animation as well, you know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
on different shows like Funniest Home Videos and other things like that. All the borders, you know, he used to do around the little bitty figures doing all kinds of stuff. It was almost like find Waldo. What's going on here, you know?
That's why Mad was pretty rereadable, because there'd be stuff you miss, and like he was a big part of a lot of the stuff you would miss, because you just see all this crazy stuff going on the border that you totally
Yeah.
missed the first time you read it. So yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I didn't know for about 4 years that Mad Magazine had actually stopped publication. I knew I hadn't seen it in a while, but so I went on eBay and bought the very last issue, and there was actually a issue that said last issue on it that was published in 1969. I also bought that one, or 1962,
Nice.
1962 actually.
Wow.
There is like, I think they're doing something, but it might be only online. Like, I know it's not a regularly published.
They actually
publication.
relaunched Mad Magazine, and
That's what I heard.
I bought one of those, but it didn't fly for very long. You know, it wasn't a very long run.
Because I saw them do like a parody, obviously not a Mort Drucker parody, rest in peace to him, but like that sort of art with the newest Batman movie that just came out with Robert Pattinson like less than a year ago. And I'm like, is this still coming out? Because I don't see it anywhere. It seemed dead to me. I'm like, what is this?
Mort Drucker actually drew the prototype to Sergeant Rock, the 6-page story to Sergeant Rock back in the 50s. That was
No
wild.
idea.
I actually had some of the production art to that, a couple pages at different times. I've since sold them, but yeah, I was like, who's this Mort Drucker? And then I found, oh man, okay. Big Mad Magazine. I totally forgot, you know.
I never
Absolutely.
knew that.
That's
That's-
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, he did some mainstream stuff. I know, you know, talking about Sergio, he did Plop for DC Comics back in the 70s, which was with Basil Wolvington, and you know, wild artist, and he would do the borders around that on some of the covers and stuff. So it was kind of like Mad or Crazy or Crack.
Crack. Yeah, that's
Magazine.
another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. And ARG. I mean, they even made it in comic book format, just different things Marvel would play around with, DC would play around with in the 70s. So try and take away some of that mad money, I guess.
Oh yeah.
But I always love the back covers where you fold it over and
good
connect the
stuff.
dots to make one big scene. That was awesome.
That was
Oh
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gone
I've
are the
actually
good old
got
days.
like an issue 21 or something like that. That's like comic book size of Mad. That's a Picasso spoof on the cover.
Hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had to have that. I was like, yeah, man.
Do
That's pretty.
Do you have the one with the middle finger on it? Because that was always one that I found hilarious. It's just a middle finger. That's it. That's the whole cover.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had a lot more Mad magazine back in the past than what I do now.
Yeah.
I've got the one where Ronald Reagan is rolled up in the carpet or something where he's getting out of the car.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's, you know,
remember
That's a
that.
classic one.
yeah. Yeah.
Funny
There's,
stuff.
I don't even know what Mad magazines really I have now. You know, when he was running for president in the 70s bicentennial year, or just, I mean, I grew up reading it, you know, from time to time and enjoyed it. It was a fun romp. It was like listening to Dr. Demento on the radio. It was a little counterculture offbeat, you know.
Ooh,
All right, do you? We were talking about this on Telepathic Bunnies earlier. Do you think comics are counterculture nowadays? I mean,
I
where
think-
it's happening? The
I think
indie
good
scene?
ones. I think good. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think good ones are for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah, I
what,
never really put that to that, but he mentioned counterculture, and I said, "Oh, you've got a good point there," because it seems like counterculture, if it's not the mainstream, that's what people want to see. They want to see the counterculture. What's going on in the counterculture at the time?
honestly, one trend I'm loving, and you know,
Instead
I
of
can see
status quo.
one trend I'm loving is this whole action movie stars coming over to indie books, and you know, bringing. I think this is where the mainstream missed their opportunity with when these Marvel MCU movies were really at their peak, and they just never figured out a way to bridge the gap. And honestly,
Capitalize on it. Yeah.
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 No.
and I think
Well, when
look,
you know, you've got a problem. I agree with Cecil. Cecil brought this up a year ago. He said that Marvel missed the cash cow. They missed the greatest opportunity of all time to cash in on their movie exposure. But you would see Iron Man, Rodney Downey Jr.'s classic Iron Man, and then you go to the store and it'd be a female Iron Man.
right,
Or
right.
a
Ironheart.
Thor, it'd be a female Thor. It didn't match up with the movies, and
No.
people weren't buying into it.
You should have used
Oh,
the
yeah.
likenesses of those
Yep.
actors, and then you should have gotten the books in the movie theater. How they couldn't have made that work to me is
Absolutely.
inexcusable. But
And they
now,
could have sold them.
They could.
I think
They could have
so.
bought them.
I think,
Yeah.
listen, if
Oh,
there's if manga is making hand over fist money, there's
They didn't have to
absolutely
lose money. It didn't have to be a promo. They could have made money on those popular.
They could
I
do
mean,
reprints and just sell.
I mean, look at the
Right.
billions of dollars, like the millions at least. I mean, that they made with the movies, you know, and they could have made.
Oh.
They didn't have to lose money on comics that they could have gave away. You're absolutely right. That would have been a
Yeah.
great promo to get people in comic stores, and you could have partnered with local comic stores and put their stamp on it where they were, you know, around town, and that helped the comic book industry more than anything, because it's all about exposure. You get on TV, a wider venue like that, movies, that's gold.
Yeah, and that's
Oh,
why I
yeah.
really love this trend going on right now. Like you got Stallone, you got Wesley Snipes, you got Keanu Reeves,
Yeah. Yeah.
all doing indie books. And then, you know, I mean, some people may say, "Hey, look, this is kind of cheap." I mean, people are really buying it for the, you know, the these actors that we idolize. Like, you know, I personally still Sylvester Stallone's a huge hero of mine.
Yeah.
But-
Expendables Go to Hell with the Richard C. Meyer publishing that last year.
And now the Rambo book, I think it's called First Kill or something like that.
First Kill. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
first kill.
So it's like some people may see that as cheap, and I'm like, who cares? You're getting people into your house, you know, to
Yeah.
show them
Yeah.
what you got, and then you got to figure out how to get them to stay. And and The Exiled with Wesley Snipes, I just think it looks phenomenal. The guy they have on
Yeah.
art for that.
Rob Willis.
Oh, yeah.
Looks good. Yeah.
It's the, you know, you need to delve in to other areas, the gaming, you know, even on YouTube to build your channel. You know, you have to cross pollinate with some of these others, the Star Trek or the Star Wars or whatever it is, you know, that's out there. You have to kind of get on those channels and get known, and you'll find out a lot of those people that like Funko Pops will like comics too.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you really want to grow. I went on a gaming channel last night. Now I've been on there before, and I've got a rent, so and I stayed on there while I'm drawing, for a couple hours and interacted with the chat and stuff. I didn't just spam them and throw my link out
Hey,
there,
Wolfer.
but I did, and I picked up three subs to my channel. I also went over there, and I always reciprocate and sub to their channel. If I miss somebody, I hope they contact me and say, "Hey, you're gonna sub to my channel?" Because I'll be glad to. And I hope to sub to your two channels if you've got channels with content. Even if you don't have content, I don't care. And then also, I got a backer on my book, so you can't ask for more than that. You got to go outside your venue of just comics, I think, to really grow.
Absolutely.
And you get to meet some great people. I know on the Rex X and Apex show, we had a lady last week that was all into Star Trek. Her channel was all about Star Trek. And of course, I'm into that. I grew up watching it and had no problem talking with those folks. I love sci-fi. How about you, Marco? Are you a sci-fi?
I love sci-fi.
And if you like sci-fi, you probably like horror too, a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'm actually getting into H.P. Lovecraft books. The first
there you go.
dark science theater and everything like that. Or basically, the fear of the beyond. And I'm thinking of actually incorporating that into my next comic book because I'm such a Starship Troopers fan from the original Sir Ronald, who actually made this first Starship Troopers
it was
novel.
Cheesy when that guy got his brain sucked out, but that is still disturbing today because they did it practical. There's something about practical effects, even when they look off, are kind of disturbing.
Hey, Hen.
I don't want my brain sucked out of my head. Of course, that would be a short little endeavor there, but
Hey,
it's funny. Which is crazy funny though, because in the movie they made it sound comedic, but in the books it made it sound like a Vietnam account going on.
Yeah.
I was like,
they never do justice to the books.
Oh no.
Yeah, in the movies, and you can't really. It's just there's no way that you can do a comprehensive Dune story. I mean, there's so much in there.
Oh no.
Little nuances and stuff that you can put in books that you could never get across on the screen in a timely fashion. It would slow up the pacing of the movie.
Yeah, it would.
Oh yeah, definitely.
People's attention spans are like this nowadays.
Oh God, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Fanta.
That's a good point.
I love slow attention spans. You look at the comics rack and just gaze at it and grab some books and read it and have these pictures in front of you. Like the subject I was talking about is publishing. What gets you into publishing, how people actually publish stuff on their own. There's this one book I like to share. It's right here. It's called First Kingdom by Jack Katz back in 1974. Magazine size.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
It's talking about the evolution of human beings on Earth and in space from
that's vintage there, huh?
That's vintage, 1974.
Yeah.
Self-published. Let's see.
That looks a little bit larger than even magazine size.
It is. It's it's about magazine size. That's how.
Okay, I just wondered if it would fit in a magazine border bag.
Yeah, it fit. Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Fine. Yep, it fits.
Wow.
But
that's beautiful.
Very detailed. Look at all these panels.
That looks glorious.
Yeah.
He did like around close to 30 issues and about over 30 years worth.
Oh, I remember that. Hell
Jack
yeah.
Katz. He's 93 years old now. He still draws. So
he's about how old
93 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. He's semi-retired, but he occasionally just draws.
Well, kind of like Don Perlin on Smokes the Fox, right? He's in his 90s. He's about that age.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about the Kingdom.
The Kingdom, man.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and see what the chat has to say.
That was kind of like ElfQuest, but it was like fantasy,
Yeah,
almost like Dinosaur and Cadillacs.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah. That even had a cartoon at one time.
Hey, not a monster.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've got it on VHS tape. You know those things? You know, they come
Yeah.
Oh, well, anyway. 8 tracks? Nah, too young.
Yeah, it's a great book. I've got a
I don't
few
know how
issues.
old you are, Marco, but I know Bobby's like, what's an 8 track?
No, I know what an 8-track is.
I've had some growing up.
Don't,
Oh, I haven't had any.
no,
I
don't
did.
worry.
I'm that old.
Yeah, I still have some.
I grew up in 1989, so I would find old tech in my parents' basement. So be like, oh, that's what an 8-track is. This
Yeah,
is what
yeah,
a VHS looks like. So
Right.
Yeah.
this is what a VCR is. Okay.
I miss VHS so much.
Yeah,
VHS
but
was
at the
good.
same
Going
time,
Going to Blockbuster Video or movie
Oof.
gallery or something like that. Heck yeah.
oh
That's-
man, yeah.
That stupid background hum. Whenever you put a VHS tape in, they just have that humming drumming
Yeah.
on the background. I miss that. I miss
I
that.
kind of did.
Or if you get one
Oh,
where it's
yeah.
been played a lot, you hear
Yeah.
the wheel.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
remember,
yeah.
remember the video rental source has a slogan: "Be kind and rewind."
Absolutely.
You have to super rewind. You have to stop it, and then if you rewind, it rewound like 4 times as fast or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate when your tape breaks, and that's terrible.
I
But that,
must be one of the lucky kids back then in college because I got to see a working laser disc. And
Oh yeah.
yeah.
because my roommate happens to be this big Japanese tokusatsu collector, so name every Japanese superhero, he has them. And
Oh,
he
that's
got me to
cool.
watch the first dubbed English Ultraman movie in Laserdisc, and I was like, why are these things so huge?
See you, Hen.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
I know. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, they have a Blockbuster in Oregon. I think it's Bend, Oregon, that still has a Blockbuster. The only one in existence
Last one.
in the world, the last one.
No, I
Still
think
in
it's
business.
closed
Isn't that
down
like
now.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's closed down now. Yep.
That sucks.
Wait.
Too
The
bad.
Blockbuster that was turned into a Milestone Museum is closed down now.
I'm sorry, you're roboting. What was that? Mark?
Well, if
Oh,
it's up
sorry.
in Colorado, that may be a different one
Oh,
because the one out on the East Coast, I believe it was in Oregon, was actually functioning. That's the one I was
Oh,
thinking
wow.
about.
oh,
Yeah.
Tennessee saw a Blockbuster vending machine. Okay, well, that's good.
Well, I mean, Redbox. I don't know. Do you get Redbox?
We have Redbox.
Yeah.
Where I am. Yeah.
Yeah, where you get the disc,
think-
you can rent the disc to watch the movies.
Yeah.
No.
Which is funny. Because of Redbox, we wouldn't have Netflix.
And you're right.
Mhm.
Oh, Washington. Yeah, Washington State. Yeah. There is one video store in town in Lubbock, Texas. It's called Video Express. It's off of 50th Street. I'm about to go there and see what that.
Yeah, I talked to
what they
somebody
have.
that said that they had one. It might have been
Yeah.
Shadowhawk. I can't remember, but they said they had an old school sort of video place. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I thought those mom and pop stores went out. They did around here. I mean,
Mm.
home entertainments. I mean, it just people stopped going.
Yeah. Telling everybody there's still a Blockbuster sign in a parking lot. The store is long gone. Oh, no. Sign of the
See if you
time.
could grab that. I would
Yeah,
Grab
have
that.
that down here. Yeah, for sure.
Try get in your backyard.
we disavow Bobby talking about taking things that
Well,
aren't,
Make sure it doesn't belong to anyone, I should say.
Yeah, there you go. Do it.
This-
Try to
Yeah.
get legal.
Nobody
can't
wants these
imagine-
kumquats.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
People will download things, if they
It's
want
like,
to pay for
what's
them.
this Blockbuster in your backyard, man? Wow, cool. We used
Well,
to have a place called.
I know
yeah.
this one guy, on the the Pickers show on the History Channel, bought a whole White Castle
Oh wow.
and put it in his front yard, and you go to the
Uh,
side of the house or in the back, he's got a whole town. And you go in the
But-
general store and it's packed full of old items, old cash register. Looks like it's from the one of the really ornate ones that they would have had at the turn of
Wow.
the century. It's
Oh, wow.
awesome experience. He could probably sell tickets to that, but he's got a whole White Castle. He bought the White Castle building and had it moved.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
It is crazy that some people go to such
bought the
extents.
whole
I thought I
thing.
was a mega collector. These guys got whole towns that they can
God.
go and walk and
That's
experience.
crazy. My God.
I
Yeah,
bet
and
they
when you
make-
go into the store, it's not just says general store, and you go in and it's bare, just a shell. They got it packed full of old products.
Wow.
Oh,
I
wow.
bet they have their own old town full of that buildings of stuff. I'm sure.
All
Town
right,
collecting.
back to
Town
publishing. Back to
collecting, yeah.
publishing.
Collector town. Yes. Okay. Now I have assorted books I like to show you guys throughout the years that I've collected. I have
Nice.
one called, this is part of like a gaming type little mini book called Character Sheets from this is from 1988.
Wow.
This bunch of just a role playing book. It's all typed. You type it in.
Yeah.
It's characters,
Mimeographed or something.
Renegade, yeah, different just stuff that gamers, especially for gamers starting out,
That's
whole
awesome.
history of.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a real rarity there. There's probably not very many of those around.
Probably not. I
Probably
got that
not
at
those.
convention.
That's cool.
There's another one. It's a character sheet in the background. It's like promoting their comic, The Fourth Circle. I think it's pretty cool. A promotion of their own comic coming out.
And you look at some of those old ads and you wonder, did that book ever really come out?
Yeah, when is it coming out? Has it come out yet, or is it just something that never came out?
Well, sometimes they advertise in the next issue, and you never know.
No
that
next
was the
issue.
last issue. There is no next issue.
Oh, that sucks.
Nice.
Teaser.
I hate
Oh
that.
no. Wow. Yeah. But I thought these are pretty cool. I also have this one called, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Champions role playing game in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
It's an Adventurers Club
Oh, yeah.
book that came out. This is more of a professional type
I got some
publishing.
old champions like RPG or I don't
Those
know,
are
whatever
great.
the gaming books.
Remember, Mark Williams did a lot of the art for the Champions role playing games. I thought
We
it was pretty
could have
good.
used Rini for this one since she's into this whole gaming role play text.
She would
text
love
type.
this. She would love Champions, I'm sure, if she were to play that.
Mhm.
It's
Oh, they even did
Foxbat.
some.
He's a Wolverine type
Champions.
character, Foxbat.
They even did
Oh,
some
nice.
champions comic books
Yeah, they did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's new.
with characters.
You even get a map, an Overstreet Museum map for your campaign if you want to reproduce it. Oh, that's
Nice.
pretty cool. Yeah. And this goes through all. Yes. Pick up for, at the time, what, $2.50? Pretty cool stuff. You get some art. Little characters. You have zombies. You have karate people. Yeah, Mark Witherby drew this. Yeah, Mark Witherby did some independent art. He may have drawn for some of the maybe it's for Marvel and some other. Mike Witherby.
I think Witherby, he did.
Mike
I
Witherby.
have some comics signed by him, like Defiance Plasma.
Oh, okay, Witherby. Yeah, I think he
Book.
did some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, even there's art by Patrick Zurcher.
Karate Zombies.
Right.
There's your next new ideal,
Yeah,
Timothy Ozen. That'd probably fit well into his book.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
it's good stuff. man.
That's a good idea. Nice.
There's one. I think there's a werewolf one. Oh yeah, there's one right here. Yeah, there's issue
Well,
number
like
6.
werewolf. Yeah.
The werewolf one.
Mhm.
Of course, Champions role playing game.
There you go. Now I think I have that book that actually has that artwork. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
Third
like
edition.
oversized, like trade paperback with all
Yeah.
the. Yeah.
Euro games. I met
Yeah.
Steve Jackson in the early '80s. We're talking. There's this one small convention that was in town years ago. But yeah, you
Gotcha.
get different articles here. Super hype. Enough said. Oh, it looks like that one that was it called?
Not Brandeck.
Yeah, not Brandeck. It's sort of like
Yeah.
a character from
Forbush Man. Yeah.
Forbush Man. That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big tin
Also,
can,
the original Red Tornado from DC Comics.
I
She
did-
had a
I
pot
put a
on
little-
her head.
I put a little bit of coloring on this one.
Oh, you
actually
did?
sometimes
Okay.
I colored some of the books.
Way to
Yeah.
go, dude.
I know, right? I
Way
didn't
to
care.
devalue, dude. What is your
Nice.
book? You
It
can
looks
do whatever.
professional looking in a way, so whatever. Maybe not, but yeah. Crooks and Crusaders. All kinds of wild stuff in here. Oh, even ads for like OrcCon 1985. Hey guys, let's go to the OrcCon in 1985 coming up. All
Oh,
right.
you know, at that time there
convention.
was I mean the D&D thing, the craze, the cosplayers was just getting started, and
That's true. It was.
I remember the first convention I went to, the very first one in Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's
The
nice.
second one was called Sonacon. I think I can't remember Con, something like that, 1983. And they had above us, they had a whole level in the Peabody. It was held in the Peabody, and they
Oh, wow.
and I remember coming up one elevator, and this lady that was dressed like kind of like Red Sonja. It wasn't the Red Sonja character, and I was like, whoa, that's
Oh.
the first. Oh, Lou Ferrigno
Hello.
there at that con.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Lou Ferrigno was at this con.
A lot of people don't know that Lou Ferrigno and Harlan Ellison, Lou Ferrigno and Adam West had a restaurant in Florida for a little bit. I've got
Oh,
one. of the
wow.
menus. Yeah.
Batman the Hulk at
Wait,
a
it-
restaurant.
It wasn't in business very long, but I went on eBay and bought one of the menus. I think you
that's-
can
that's
still
wild,
go on
man.
there. Yeah.
It's wild.
And their
I have a-
menus were kind of done like a comic book,
Yeah. I had a critique of my Executor and Femme Fatale #1 in this Rapscallion. There's the Executor there, and there's the Femme Fatale there. Both of them by me back in the day. He
Was
did a nice
featured in this.
review.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rapscallion. So yeah, I had some exposure. And here's another one. Some of these companies, little indie companies, come out with a free preview book, so you could probably print them off your offset printer. This is one of them right here. The Foundation coming to comic shops. You just print them off your offset printer like that. And it's just like maybe like 8 pages, maybe 12 pages. You get your creators' names on here.
Yeah.
Just a cheap way to print up, up and coming stuff without using a big, huge printer.
That's probably about the size that my book's going to be. The ash can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be an ash can size. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
ash can size, except mine's going to be like 24 pages. It's going to
Yeah,
be a
this
little
is-
thicker.
Yeah, you get different artist showcases of people's work. Just a simple type of
Yeah.
little flyer type book. You can promote your company. So there you have
Hey,
it.
any way you can get it out there, people
Make it out
take
there.
it home,
Yeah. This
Mhm.
is one called Dr. Squid. It's like a flip book. And there's another one, same thing. Dr. Squid. It has
a flip book.
articles.
Wow.
As
Yeah.
articles of like B movies and stuff like that. Different
Yeah,
Spanish
with
Planet
photos?
X's,
Wow.
sort of photos and stuff. Yeah, pretty cool.
And something with, computers the way they are today, if you have some skills on the computer, you
Yeah,
put together something like that fairly quickly,
Gotcha.
good, man.
Right. Makes sense.
Easily.
have
So,
your
yeah.
different sections to the book and articles,
Yeah,
and
it's-
different files, and then just
Yeah.
put it
Print 'em
all
off.
together.
So
Oh.
yeah, and I believe that's it for
You've
my
got some
little
rare
showcase.
stuff there, Apex.
I know. I like them.
Nice.
And what's neat is you can be flipping there. Oh, that's my old project. You're
Yeah,
actually
project way back in the
cool.
day,
Nice.
back in the 90s. Yeah.
I always wanted to create a museum dedicated to everything I created. And then I can tell people, be like, yeah, I met this guy, worked with this guy, hated that guy, and maybe got drunk and drew with this guy. So I can
Yeah.
actually curate people one of these days, kind of
Hey,
for
Captain.
project history. But speaking of projects, hey, Bob, want to share your upcoming project?
good
Yeah.
segue.
Sure.
Good
Yeah.
segue.
Absolutely. If you want, I can present my screen. I could show you the work in progress I'm doing right now. It's like
All right.
90% finished. Sure. Let me
Yeah.
present.
Hey, Marco, you said you were on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I'll follow you back. I'd like to see some more of your work.
Gotcha.
All
No
right.
problem.
I'm
And
under Devil
funny,
Flyer.
after
Just
Bob,
look
I'll
under
be sharing
Devil
my
Flyer.
Instagram too, what I'm also working on.
Yeah, or you can drop the link in the
That's
chat
cool.
as well.
Noted.
Thank you. Yeah. So my
Mhm.
whole idea is I wanted to do what if like your favorite 90s comic book artists like Stephen Platt or Dale Keown drew Heavy Metal magazine. So I basically started doing this character called Brutor right here.
Brutor.
Yep, he's a barbarian in a cyberpunk dystopian future, and it's just a whole story about it. But I just really wanted to get my own work out there, so I just did this new hyper detailed style. Like if you hold on, like you look really, really, really like you can zoom in really far, and you see lines everywhere, just lines everywhere.
You do
Now,
this
do you work
digitally?
large scale? Because when this stuff reduces down, you lose some of that line work. Do you work a larger scale so that you won't lose your lines when you reduce it down?
Good question. Actually, this is like a double page spread, so it's not much bigger than your
Okay,
typical comic book. So this is whatever 11 by 17.
that would be my advice if you're going to go really detailed. Is go large.
Right.
Yeah.
So that when it reduces and just pick a size that will reduce down. I actually had some artwork that I had to stretch in my book. It didn't distort it, but it was the only way it would really fit all the artwork in because the artist didn't size it correctly.
What's those tendrils hanging on his body? What's that?
So those are just tassels because a lot of properties and characters I grew up with and still love to this day were inspiration for Brutor. So Ultimate Warrior, one of my heroes, he had the famous arm tassels. So I gave my guy arm tassels too. He has 2 instead of 3 on each arm, and they're just long, and it makes an interesting shape for when he is
What
fighting.
was the wrestler that wore those? Warrior? He wore tassels on his arms. I guess several wrestlers did too.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, there were several that. I mean, there was a few that wore the things around, up here. Now you're working digitally, correct?
Yes. It's funny you asked that because originally I was working traditionally. I actually put out a preview ash can of all the work I had done traditionally. I still have like a pile of those. And I could show some pages from that. Now, obviously, I'd have to be very selective because, I don't know.
Nudity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I said it was heavy metal. I gave everybody
fair warning.
Heavy metal. Has pouches.
Hey, Bobby, I just met you and I already like you. Okay, you got that Queens sensibility. Have you been up in Queens all your life, or?
Yes, my entire life actually.
Well, I feel for you.
I trust me. You have no idea how much I agree.
What? Yeah, I mean, New York's kind of going to pot, isn't it? I mean, in a way, it's really sad to see, but
it is. Yeah.
People that live up in New York, they're like, "Oh, this is the greatest place on the planet."
No, nobody I know. Everybody hates it that I know.
Really?
Everyone is like, "I can't wait to get to Florida." That's
obviously you've never been to Brooklyn, then.
I've been a few times, not a ton.
Oh, I mean, Frank Frazetta, so many greats came out of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Even Peter Palmetti, who's going to be inking something for me, I think he came from Brooklyn,
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Apex, if you want, I could pull up another image. I just got it because this is Clip Studio, so I would have to.
Okay. All right.
Look at that. Ripped off arms and legs.
Oh
yeah, I also.
Little blood splatter, huh?
It's exploitation at its finest. It's all extreme,
Yeah.
Keyword here. Like you even
were you a Marvel guy, a DC guy, an independent guy, or? What were your
Um,
influences? Spawn? What?
influence wise, definitely Image. If we're talking about just the art,
Okay.
definitely
Okay.
Image. Platt, Stephen Platt,
Stephen Platt, right? I was going to
I
ask
see
you
some
about
Platt
him.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keon,
Yeah.
who's the
Palmetti.
Aaron Weisenfeld, the
Yeah.
guy that does weird landscape
Right.
paintings now. Like he just totally vanished from comics, and he does that now. Which more power to him, but I love his Image work. Uh,
Yeah.
Barry
Yeah.
Windsor Smith.
California's going everywhere. New Yorkers are just invading Florida.
That's true.
I will be one of
Mhm.
them one day, God willing.
Well,
Right.
no income tax.
Yeah.
That's also a good.
That's a
Yeah.
secret of having money in your state. No income tax. You can save it all up.
I think
Revenue,
it's the
folks.
I think it's
Revenue.
the freest place on the planet right now, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I went,
noted. I'm moving there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
it's phenomenal. Thank you for
Well,
Marco.
to move to
Like-
Florida when they stop coming over the border, when people stop coming, it's probably going to be burned to the ground, I
Right.
mean, but for now, they're still coming. There must be something desirable over here still. We had
You're in
totally
Florida?
wrecked it. In the United States. I
Yeah,
mean,
say Superior.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
But-
I thought you were in Florida right now. I'm like, lucky.
yeah,
No, I'm in Texas.
no, I'm in
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to buy a place in Texas and Florida in a few years and have a couple different escape routes. Texas is the only one in their constitution that can legally secede from the rest of the states if they want to.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
When Lincoln made them a state, they didn't have the population numbers yet. I think they had 700 and something thousand people in the state at that time, which for the size of Texas, that's outrageous. But we're talking 1850s. He was trying to win the re-election, and so he said, "I'll make you a state." And they said, "Okay, we'll do it, but we want we want it written into our Constitution that if we so desire in the future to secede from all the other states, we can do it." And he allowed that. So they've got it written into the Constitution. If they want to become their own country, they can constitutionally do it.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the strings that are attached now with businesses and other things, that's a different thing. But
That's true. There you go.
there you go.
There's some Bisley in there.
Arm.
Oh, yeah. Bisley. Yeah.
Bisley.
Huge influence of mine. See what else I got here.
How about
Goes
you,
back-
Marco? What were you, a Marvel guy, a DC guy, an Image guy, a Dark Horse? What?
Well, I have to thank my dad before he turned into this whole serious pastor thing. Before
Yeah.
all that, he was a rocker, and also he was into really savage art. So, name it from Marvel, DC, he got them all. At first, I was into Batman. Then I discovered things like pulp comic books from the likes of believe it or not, Sir Conan Doyle. And then I got into H.P. Lovecraft comics. And then I got into Spawn, which really cemented my eye and be like, I want to be this guy. In fact, I forgot about the world of manga for at least a year because of the existence of Spawn. Todd McFarlane there. And then Greg Capullo. And then all of a sudden you got Top Cow. Then Lady Death. I kid you not, I still have it, and I still lost it, and I'm still hiding it from my parents to this day.
Brian Pulido. Yeah.
Lady Death.
Yeah.
Beware, Lady Death. Don't let your
You
parents get all of
didn't
it.
see anything.
It's got bulletproof
the
or
golden
what?
edition.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
By the looks of it.
Yeah, Bobby,
it
is this
kinda
guy
is.
bulletproof? Looks like they're just bouncing off of him.
Yeah, he's sort of like I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dragon Ball Z. That's the only anime I watch. But there's a character called Broly who's pretty much like the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
But he doesn't really transform. He just gets progressively. He's already a big dude.
Is he
and-
blue? The blue guy?
No. He's
No?
just
Okay.
like a white guy that's just enormous.
Just flesh tone.
Yeah. It's weird because they're sort of like he's going to. Brutor is also eventually we're going to reveal. It's not really a spoiler, but he's not normal. He's not a normal human being, obviously. So he has like a race that he comes from that's otherworldly, and yeah, so it's sort of going to be similar to that, where they look like us, they talk like us, but they're definitely not of this earth. So
The guy on the left says, "Thinking what I'm thinking." The guy on the right says, "Run away."
I
Right?
think it's
Well,
too late
actually,
for that.
Did you
yeah,
draw
this
this,
is-
Bobby?
yeah, I drew all this. Everything I'm showing, I drew.
Good. That's
Oh,
great.
thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, that's some of the savagery that Marco was talking about.
Wow,
I
that's
would
really
think. Yeah.
Mhm.
that's savage.
Now, is all this done digitally?
No, this is all still. The only thing that's been done digitally so far was the first thing I showed you. All this.
Okay.
I still have one lying around here. Yeah, I have.
Traditional, so you got the splatter on there and stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I have a pile of these. These are the black and white preview ash cans that got all the
cool.
everything I'm showing right now,
Yeah.
except that first one because it's not done yet.
Oh, you made an ash can, right?
Yeah, I was just holding it. Yeah, this
Okay.
right here.
Oh wow. Did you like produce it like an offset printer, or you did it off of a?
Now, see, that's the type of thing I would see in a comic book shop, and
That's
I would
great.
buy it immediately because it looks.
I would.
I mean, I would rather have that than another Bruce Wayne story or Spider-Man. I know those characters. Yours is fresh. It's raw.
Yeah.
It's I love the independent stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
man,
Thank you.
I
It's
have
good work.
30,000 comics in my collection, roughly. And that is the type of stuff I'm drawn to. It's the raw, independent stuff, the stuff that I know is low print and obscure. And I get off on that. If I had a box or two to save out of my burning house, that would be the box I would save.
Oh, yeah.
Screw DC, Marvel, or any of that stuff. I would want to save my independent stuff. I can't tell
Yeah.
you why. I just enjoy that independent stuff,
It's just so
Nice.
fresh and different.
Yeah, I mean,
agree.
those are dollar bin comics, $2. They don't
Yeah.
have a lot of value like my Marvels and DCs and some of the other books I've got, but they're just fun.
They're
Fun. I've got a lot of respect for anybody that comes out with something like that, Bobby.
Thank you. Thank you. I
You've
really
done it.
appreciate
You've
it.
got your book out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
good,
it's
bad, or indifferent. It's out there for the world to see. So props to you, brother.
Yeah. Shot.
And
Thank
you
you, I
might have
appreciate it.
cases left over, but you've done it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. That's
You
the
should
thing.
be
I was.
proud.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you. I mean, you're definitely right. It's just, when I went to my first con and, I sold like 3 of them and I have 45 of them left, it was just, but then again, it's partially my own fault. I didn't really know about what we're doing right now. I didn't really know how to sell myself back then. So it's not really something in hindsight I should have been too shocked about. But once I learned about how this is done, how you promote yourself, how you get out there. I mean, I shouldn't have expected not to for it to go too much differently. But now I know better.
Are you going to crowd fund a project in the future?
Yes, I have.
Oh, it definitely is.
I have several of these pages being colored right
Okay.
now. I'm getting a different logo made because I made the original logo. I'm not crazy about it. I
let's
think
look
I
at
can.
Right.
Oh,
right.
pull it up
I think I
again. Pull up again.
Yeah.
So demanding. There
So
you go.
this is the original logo. I'm not crazy about it. I think somebody I know.
Guitar.
Readability, and you
I
need to
like
be
that.
able to read it. That's not
I
too
paid
bad. I've seen
$5 for
worse.
that. Holy mackerel. That's nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. And then I also made a pile of these. This was a little. So as you know, I'm a child of the '90s. So we have a
That's all right.
borderline.
We'll forgive you.
We
Yeah.
have.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
got it.
it's
Oh,
nice.
the hollow foil.
Hollow
The
foil,
hollow
Bruce.
foil.
Oh, love it. Magazine
get-
size.
Oh my God.
I
Where'd you get it
found.
done?
I think it's called Starburst Printing. They did a phenomenal job. The staff is so friendly. really not that expensive. I think I got 25 of them made for about like 50, 60, including shipping. You know, for a material like this, and they did a phenomenal job. I can't thank them enough. Yeah, I
Is
just
this
have
a print, a big print?
yes, it is an 11 by 17 print, and it just
Oh, it's a
glistens.
print. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's 11 by 17
God.
print. Like, listen,
Wow.
as a child of the 90s, you could give me marble, you could give me silk. This is the material that's going to tickle my fancy the most as a
Wow.
90s
I
child.
know. I love that. Above all the special enhanced
That's
covers, I love the
fantastic.
rainbow effect on it. It's just
Yeah.
awesome.
You have more? You have more?
I do have more, actually. Hold on one second. I had
You get Apex on a roll. He wants you to show.
I had
50
5 of these made. 5 of these I had
Let's see
made.
that.
I'm keeping one of them.
Okay.
This is
Oh,
a
lunch
Brutor lunchbox.
A
Wow.
lunchbox.
There
Oh
you
my
go.
I had
God.
a lunchbox made.
Props.
Told
to
you he's great.
Oh,
Yeah.
Told you he's great.
wow. How cool is that, man?
Mm-hmm.
This look at
Orgasms.
Listen, it's a fully functional one too. Listen, you work at the docks, you work at a construction worker. This is how
Wow.
you get the respect of your coworkers, the manliest men on earth. You
There
show
you
up with
go.
one of these and you pull a hoagie out of it.
When
That's
you
how you
when you
get-
produce a thermos, we'll talk.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you used to have just one.
Yes.
How many
Timothy Olson's asking where I got this made. So I tried to do some 4D chess. I tried to play a little bit of insider baseball. What I did was I found a site called lunchbox.com, and I think you could get 5 of these lunchboxes for, don't quote me on the price, it's been a bit, like 40 something like that. And then I went to Sticker Mule, and they have the rounded corner stickers that you get. So I got the exact dimensions, and I just made a bunch of stickers and plop them on here, and boom, got a lunchbox.
Wow.
Oh, you
So
put
there.
some stickers on a lunchbox, and that's your lunchbox. That's
Okay.
Exactly. Well, that's
Now,
how they
is
did
that
it back in the day. Pretty
Is that
much.
the giant King Kong behind you?
Well, let me look at that. Giant King Kong. Where?
Down
Which
below?
one?
Oh, down
Yes.
the
Below?
shelf.
That's
your
the
left.
Skull Island King Kong.
Yes.
Nice.
Very
What else
nice.
do I
Wow.
got? I got.
He's
Jethro
oversized,
Marv.
isn't he? He's huge, isn't he? I think
Yeah,
I've got one of those.
He's a pretty big.
Didn't he come with the little army man as well? Yeah, I've got that. I've
Oh
got
my
that.
God! I gotta get
Except
one. Of
mine's
those.
not in the
Nice.
mine's not out of the package. Mine's still in the
Holy
package.
crap!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
King Kong.
Love it.
Yeah.
Huh?
So
My
I got this
favorite
off eBay.
movie of all time, King Kong. The
Yeah, man.
original.
Let me tell you, there's something as cheesy as it sounds when the first time you see, and you know it's obviously fake, but when he goes up that building, there's something that gives you chills. I can't really put it into words, you know. The
Oh,
way the
especially
music,
when he grabs the first lady and it's not her, and then he drops her to her death.
Oh yeah, I remember they shot in the movie theater in the 70s. I saw
It's
that.
brutal, man.
you
Wrecked
could
the
see how that would
train.
scare people back then, you know. Like,
Yeah.
What? Just throw people off the.
Well, if
building.
you think about it in this context, he was the first huge creature, the first monster movie, the first big
Yeah.
monster movie.
yeah,
You know.
absolutely.
You know, the Depression started earlier, but by 32, 31, 32, 33 were brutal on people. And yet they were lined up for like 2 blocks long, waiting to pay their nickel to get into for some escapism to see King Kong. It was the Star Wars of its day. Meryl C. Cooper, who made that with RKO, he patented 9 different processes to, you know, everybody goes Godzilla. My co-host, he's a big Godzilla fan, and I am too. But you would not have Godzilla without King Kong. Sorry,
Absolutely.
you just wouldn't. You know,
Yeah, agreed.
King Kong was the Star Wars of its day.
Yeah, man.
King Kong now with poo throwing action.
Oh yeah. I wonder if they have
Timothy, yeah,
Poor
pulled over by giant
Bring my
cops. Yeah.
giant cops.
giant
I'm afraid we're
cops.
gonna have to rescind your banana.
Just send your banana there, King Kong. Damn
Yeah.
it.
It would have been nice if he would have had like a group of bananas, like a whole thing, and just the whole
Yeah,
thing without.
And just
killing, because one banana is not, or maybe they're giant bananas. I don't know.
They
Genetic.
are.
Yeah.
They have to
I
be.
always loved once you got to Skull Island. It was a slow build, and then to see that Stegosaurus come out for the very first time, it's like, oh yeah, it's going to get good. And then we're going to see Kong, shake them off.
Yeah.
Ah!
There are some deleted scenes in that King Kong movie. I think there was a giant spider in one of them we never saw.
Yeah. Well, you think, why do they
Theater.
not go across the log and get away? They stopped because they had footage that they cut where a Triceratops, that's why they got on the log to begin with, to get away from the Triceratops. So they couldn't go back
Right.
because that dinosaur was there. But they cut that, so it didn't quite make sense, that they stayed on the log. But great stuff.
That last comment.
Damn log. Oh, let me
That's
look here. Oh, yeah. In the end, brought down by an Italian plumber.
Yeah,
That could have
Donkey
happened.
Kong.
Donkey Kong. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
what kind of guy? I don't know if you identify as CG or what. I think Bobby knew what I meant when I said kumquats. So what kind of got you into that? For me, it was like seeing Ethan Van Sciver's draw streams and stuff like that. How to draw. comics.
Yeah. It was. I've been following a while. Yeah, it was. Just pretty much from the beginning. I love the whole indie thing. I wasn't really liking what Marvel and DC had been doing, so
Yeah.
follow along.
Yeah, you just kind of saw some of those broadcasts of different creators or something, kind of, saw that they were crowdfunding and that there was kind of a sell directly to, build up your channel and whatnot. And,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was it was like I went to the Kubert school and
cool.
towards like the end of second year, beginning of third year, I sort of saw the writing on the wall with
were you there when Joe was alive?
I was not, unfortunately. I was
he'd already passed away. Andy and Adam were there.
Andy and Adam were there for my first year, and it was sold. It was sold to a new owner.
Oh,
going into my
was it?
second year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Anthony Marquez bought it. He does stuff with Dynamite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he bought it. He's been running it. He ran for my second and third year, and he still runs it now. But this was recently. I graduated 2021, May of 2021.
Congratulations. You're in good company. Like
Good.
Andy Smith is an alumni, Graham Nolan, Patrick Parnell. There's a bunch of people that
Piscor.
graduated from the Kubert school.
Oh yeah, Lee Weeks.
Lee Weeks.
Lee Weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got an alumni. Stephen Bissett. I mean, you name it.
Oh, yeah.
How about you, Marco? How'd you kind of find out about the crowdfunding type thing and what was going on YouTube?
That's the easy part. He's already here amongst us, and he goes by comics, and his first name is Apex.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He was my first video because I was looking into how to make comics because I wanted to do manga. But the problem is doing manga is a way too high of a standard. And believe it or not, I had someone from Japan who actually looked at this and be like, you're better off going to the Americans.
Hey, Rosie.
Well, I'm really flattered. Thanks, Marco.
Well, Florida's waiting on you, Marco.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And believe it or not, after him, I watched because Ethan's my third, my second is Rini. That's where I got into CG.
Okay.
Then I went back to Apex, then back to Rini again, and then I went to watching everybody, including Malin. Then I found Vaughn, Coleman, and then Bobby here.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm really flattered, man. That's cool. That's really nice.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Apex.
I'm over Ethan Van Sciver. That's crazy.
Apex
Who
has
would've
brought
thought?
a lot of people.
I,
in,
Thank
you know?
you.
So-
Thank you so much.
So
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
tell you. Sorry. So let me tell you about how I met Vaughn, because this story is pretty insane. So
Now,
I was
for those that don't know, Bobby, you mean Von Klaus?
No. Vaughn Vaughn Coleman,
Okay,
the gentleman.
Von Coleman. Okay.
Now this is related. Don't worry. So, because Billy Tucci and Graham Nolan were at the uh, at the convention that I was at. Bobby said, "Yeah, Raven's probably my favorite female character." So I have several of them. I have I have
Look
two
at
Raven
that.
figures there. I have a statue of her there. Yeah, I have
Oh wow.
80% of the Raven merchandise that's been produced. There's not a ton, so it's not a huge accomplishment. But yeah, so Billy Tucci, Graham Nolan were there, and this kid that's dressed up like Cypher, which I found this out later because I just thought it was some non-discriminate X-Man. Vaughn was assisting Billy at his table, right? So I'm talking with Graham. You know, we get shooting the shit. And sorry, I didn't mean to. I don't know if I could curse on here. I'm sorry about that.
Go ahead. I don't care.
And you know, he says, "Listen, a bunch of us are going to be hanging out later tonight. We're going to go drinking at the Hyatt House. You know, there's a hotel out there." And I'm like, you know, I'm like, absolutely, I'll be there. You know, and you know, I was coordinating with Vaughn. You know, and finally, you know, we went to the wrong hotel because actually there was a Hyatt like 10 minutes away that ended up being the wrong one. So us and some other guys showed up at the wrong one. So finally, we went all the way over. And the first thing I see when I come into this bar in the back, you know, there's a group of people there. Walt Simonson's there, whatever. But the first person I see is EVS. And and, you know, I shook his hand, you know, and I'm just like, you know, this is surreal. And, you know, somebody I've been watching for years. You know,
He's a Jersey boy.
Yeah, I told them my whole thing. And, you know, the thing about him that's great, because some of these people, you know, they don't really sound the same. Like Howard Stern, you know, I used to be, I'm a huge fan of Stern before he sold out, but it was very notable that he never sounds like that in person. Like if you see videos of him off camera, he has this unique voice or whatever. EVS sounds exactly like he sounds in real life. That booming.
Yeah.
It's like you're watching a video. Yeah,
A
it's
lot
like you're
of
watching a
people
video.
don't know that Howard Stern has a comic book connection. He is the nephew to DC's vice president of production, Jack Adler. And of course, Jack Adler passed away. Yeah. And he grew up with Jack and DC Comics and stuff like that. Big comic book connection. A lot of people don't know that, but way before he did radio.
Wow. That's pretty cool. So
Jack Adler, his first job for DC was Action Comics #1, doing some color work because he was a colorist. But he hired Neil Adams, Mike Kaluta, Bernie Wrightson, all those, you know, guys in the 60s. He hired every one of them. And he was the archivist. He was the one that saved stuff from being destroyed.
Wow.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and nobody knows his name.
Nope, I definitely didn't.
You can check out Plot Magazine. He's cited, one of the few magazines that he's cited on with Sergio or Basil Wolvington, rather. His name is on there. It'll say Jack Adler. And he also did like the gray toning, you know, in comics in the 60s, in like Sea Devils and some GI Combat, and then also the photo collage stuff, you know, when Superman would be flying but the city would be a real photo. He introduced that to comics. He was quite the innovator. That's not all he did. He was also a photographist and quite the innovator in comics. We have a lot to thank Jack Adler for, and yet he's virtually unknown within the field. But he was Howard Stern was his nephew.
That's pretty. I did not know
that's
that.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's on his mom or dad's side. You know.
Yeah, and
I think it was on his mother's side. I don't know.
Okay, right.
I'll take a guess. It's 50-50.
That's a good point. Yeah. So I'm talking to him and
prove me wrong.
Yeah.
And there's this guy sitting next to him, you know, pretty well built guy. Kind of looks like Telly Savalas, and he starts talking, and immediately the second words come out of his mouth. Oh shit, you're Cecil. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta talk with this guy, man. And I'm shooting the shit with Cecil, and he again, exactly like he is on camera. Exactly.
He said he had Telly Savalas. Cecil's bald. What? No
Well,
way.
he had shaved his head at that point. I think I don't know if he keeps it short normally, but it definitely had like a shaved look to it. You know?
Okay, all right.
So I don't know if he wanted me saying that. I hope I didn't piss him off.
I was just revealed Cecil.
Is this buff Cecil or is this?
He was buff. He was buff.
Okay.
Very
Cecil.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's exactly like he is on camera. It was so funny because there's this sketchy looking guy because when we went outside, because we all started smoking cigars and drinking outside, right? And there's this sketchy looking guy standing by the door, and he's like, he just starts talking to him very loud and obnoxiously on purpose. He goes, "Hey, you look like you know where to get good drugs around here. Can you help me?" In front of everyone, the guy's just looking at him like he didn't believe he just did that. And who else was there? And then obviously Billy and Graham, and then Bart Sears comes by, Kevin Altieri comes by, and he's drinking with us. And it was just a phenomenal night. Well, probably the greatest night of my life. And it was just I have pictures of all this. It's sort of like the end of The Hangover, where it's just like pictures of the butchery, one after the other. And just truly a great night. Something I'm going to cherish forever, and that's how I met Vaughn. Yeah, so a partnership that lasts to this day. Yeah.
Nice.
Ah man, what a good story, man. Wow.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
crazy.
Yeah. So as bad as that convention went for me professionally as a fan, it was the total opposite end of the spectrum. Like professionally, it was about a 0. Just as a fan, it was 10. But I shouldn't actually say in hindsight, I met Vaughn, and he's been introducing me to a lot of great people. So in hindsight, probably not a 0, but that day it was definitely a 0. I made like no money that day. But yeah.
In there. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know how that feels. My first convention would be in Arkansas during, I believe, our Comic Conway. Devil Flyer knows about that one. And I kid you not, it's just about ragtag college students who know nothing about comics, but just big comic and manga enthusiasts. We just sat at the table, right? And just started, hey, we can draw anything or everything you want. At first, it was just caricatures. Then people are just giving us this ridiculous request, and we just draw them the best we can. And at first, we got also other students from the other school, mostly. I'm not sure what you call the woke ones back then before they ever called woke, but they're the guys who they don't like the whole, it's these jokers from the art class. Look at them trying to make money. Haha. And then jokes on them later with a little bit of dedication, hard work, and you stay true to your craft. You start raking in $370.
I've done
The
it
first
before.
day.
That's great. Oh yeah, man.
It got crazy. I think one of the creators for the X Babies showed up and be like, that's some great art, guys. And I'm like, being knowledgeable back then, this guy was like, okay, fine, thank you, bye. And then one of the guys was like, don't you know who that is? And I was like, who? That's one of the guys who made the X Babies from the 80s. I'm like, wait, really? And I could have shook this guy. Yeah, I forgot. It was like he did the X Babies parodies, especially where I think he also did a serious storyline where Colossus was a communist or something.
What?
Yeah, he was like a Colossus was a bad guy. I was like, oh, okay, we get it. He has a thick Russian accent, but didn't think he was Soviet too.
Who is the writer of this? I didn't get the name.
Yeah, I forgot about it. It's been so long.
Wow.
But the crazy story is, the two people I walked by was like complimenting me during the Arkansas Comic Conway was, believe it or not, Javier Salteras, the guy who made Man Thing and
I think.
Ghost Rider. I'm like,
Where was the
Are you-
Arkansas thing? Was it in Little Rock?
oh no, this is somewhere near Conway, the Conway
Okay, that's very
convention.
close to me. Conway's very close to me.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
I'm in
it's at
Jonesboro.
oh nice, because
Yeah,
this one's in
Northeast Arkansas.
this one they used the convention that they used to have the old gun show at. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Mhm.
yeah, that big thing over there. Who would have thought you would run into Javier Salteras, the man who made Man Thing and Ghost Rider, and he's just like, not bad, kid.
That's pretty good.
So you've been to the States and wound up in Arkansas. That's wild. And you're in the Philippines.
Oh yeah, I came there as a student actually, with
Okay.
the weirdest ambition going to the United States. Everybody comes there as an engineer, or everybody comes there as a doctor or a lawyer, or in
Right.
this case, in the Philippines, you'll either come over there as lawyer or doctor, nothing else.
And where did you go to school? Did you go to school in Arkansas?
Funny enough, no, I went there for college. Community college would be in Virginia, Charlottesville.
Well, I mean the college. What was the college name? Where was that located? I'm
Oh,
just
that's
curious.
in University of Central Arkansas, going to Donaghy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you can't miss it. It's a really big place. It's like
Yeah.
it tries to copy University of Virginia, but there's a lot of crazier, eccentric people over there. That's the only difference.
Let me show you some of what I was talking about real quick
Let's
here.
see.
Oh,
Like
Okay.
the
wow.
Great Mountain cover. I actually traded a friend for this one. He's got a large collection. In between him and I, we probably have one of the largest, if not the largest collection of the Adler collection. You see the gray tones instead of using true blacks. This is the Titanic, and since it was historical and it was a light gray tone because it's 20 center. They really didn't have that many come with certificate of authenticity.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, and damn.
This is an approval cover. It's been trimmed, one of a kind. This was part of the 5 process. Like, oh, I didn't have one from the Adler, but here's like you can get these in paper too, but like this is the color guide to Avengers #4.
Oh,
and-
wow.
And it has different cells,
Oh, wow.
different stages
Overlays.
Oh,
for the
whoa.
overlays of color, and then they would combine in the printing process,
Mm.
all that together to make the whole image.
Yeah. That's great.
So that's a color guide, kind of different from anything else I've got. There's different ways you can do it. Like I said, you could do it on paper. This was like the last Doom Patrol original story, and then after this issue, they started reprinting the old
Yeah.
stories.
Oh, yeah. I love those.
He collected
Yeah.
stuff, from like mid 60s up to Inferior 5 here. Here's
I
another
remember
one.
that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Kind
crazy.
of a spoof on superheroes.
That's
I
cool.
just pulled a few here. This is pretty cool. Gray Morrow. I did not realize Gray Morrow, like Alex Toth for Hanna-Barbera, worked in animation. He did this 1967 Spider-Man character designs and stuff, and that's a Gray Morrow with
That's
I got this
crazy.
one because it's unusual, to get an oval on a cover. But
They don't
that's if
They
you
don't
look
make
at
them
the
like you used to.
it's almost like I wouldn't say this is I guess you might call it a gray. It almost looks like done in grease pencil,
Mm.
but
Looks like
it could be considered a gray tone cover. I don't know.
It looks that way. But it's a lot of
And then
lines,
here's a color guide where and actually signed by Jack Adler himself here of Anthro #2. But you see, that's just painted onto the stat, even the 12 cents they're painted in white, and then like the DC Bullet indication of red where red would be printed, just to give the
Yeah.
printers an idea of the colors that they want. And you have trimmed like this approval covers, which it makes up the bulk of the collection. is a trimmed approval covers. Other things like the color guides are expensive, but sometimes you get like, here's trimmed, unexpected. Talking about Woodstock, that was one of the first things. That's Dick Garagano, and then untrimmed. So this is two stages
Nice.
of the process of the same book, and then I don't know if that's the file copy, but the file copy would be another stage of the printing, believe it or not, for inspection.
Yeah.
That's crazy good.
And
That's
then,
cool.
just to show you what I first started collecting. This was my first Marvel anything. This is what got me not
Oh.
collecting, but it was my first, into monsters and stuff. That was lying
Oh,
around, so I thought I'd
nice.
show that too. And it had it had Gil Kane, the first appearance of Morbius, his origin.
Ooh.
Man, that's
Out
good.
of
Just,
Living
reprinted out of Amazing Spider-Man 102, his second appearance. So that was pretty cool.
yeah, that's great.
Nice.
Had
Next
Val
week.
Merrick. Val Merrick would go on to do some of the horror stuff for Marvel and would draw like the Living Mummy and
Yeah,
suspense
Thing.
thrillers. Yeah.
Yeah, supernatural thrillers.
Yeah. I love some Living Mummy. My brother actually found an old copy in this abandoned house and gave it to me because I collected comic books.
Oh,
And-
wow.
And my brother only bought me one book, and it was kind of like one of those creature books from the early 70s. And he found that one for me. That's all he's ever contributed to my hobby. But, a couple good books.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to know something about the process and how comics are made and
Spin vampires, yeah.
and then how that process has changed over time, because I have you got preliminary drawings like this is Conan from John Buscema on the last book he worked on when he died, actually Gil Kane's last book that he did. So I've got a lot of preliminary drawings of Savage Sword of Conan, but later, like this is just a color guide done in alcohol markers. See there's the back of it, bleed through. And this is from Challengers of the Fantastic, which was a mashup with Amalgamated Comics of Fantastic Four and Challengers of the Unknown.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so this is, cheaper done. I've got some color guides that were actually done, it looks like in crayon by Charlton, which was ultra cheap. They did not pay a good pay rate. And yet Steve Ditko would rather work for them than work for Marvel,
That's true.
because it
That's
wasn't
great.
about money for him. It was about, being able to do the work, and Marvel done pissed him off with the way they, him and Stan through his Spider-Man thing.
I guess he had a little more creative
Yeah.
freedom over at Charlton. to my
Probably
understanding.
he sure didn't make the money over there, but I was
Right.
amazed actually in the 80s that he came back to Marvel and did some stuff for them.
Yeah, Machine Man, I remember. And a
That
few
he ever
other
came
things.
back and did. Yeah, Machine Man, and
Captain Universe.
he also did a Fantastic Four and a Hulk annual.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and he invented Squirrel Girl. That was in the early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And Speedball from the New Warrior.
Speedball.
Yep. So he created new characters for them. And they're popular today,
Yeah, they are. Wow.
It's
Here's
crazy
a
good.
book I have on for sale. Let me see. My thing's not working.
You're joking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah, he
sale.
also did Speedball.
Apex
Yep.
Comics Cavalcade, 20 pages. It's a wraparound cover here. Previous stories I did from the 90s and early 2000s. Stars of Freedom, based on my Signal crew and the U.S. Navy. I developed, created characters for each of these guys, put them all in a book. It's like 8 pages of that. Plus Land Shark.
Did you draw when you were in the Navy, like in
Yeah,
your
I did.
downtime?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And their T-Rex fighter.
Nice.
That's going for $10. Postage paid, of course.
I bought it. You should buy it too.
Yeah, it's coming up. And I also have Apex Graphics Golden Age. I've Golden
I
Age
bought those too.
characters. Yeah, Madam Max there.
Yes. You need to get
32,
your hands on those. I love mini comics.
32
That's a-
pages, and also Nikolai Stark.
Nice.
Two of them for like $10. Postage
Hey,
paid.
mini
Buy
comics
two
like
for
that
20.
were
I'll add in a print.
mini comics
So-
like that were really popular in the they were most popular in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll throw in the link in the chat again.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Speedball, he did. Amen. Bang. All right. So, yeah. You guys watch anything interesting going on in the news or sports? Let's see. I did watch took mom to the movies. I watched that Tom Hanks movie, A Man Called Otto. It's actually a decent character-driven movie. That's not really woke
Right.
or anything. I was
Yeah.
kind of surprised. Yeah. It's like
Considering
down to earth.
Tom Hanks is about as woke as you get.
Yeah, he played a character. He did a good job. So what can I say?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember him on Bosom Buddies. I remember him.
Bosom Buddies,
On-
yeah.
He also did an episode of Happy Days when he was
Yeah.
first starting out. He fought the
Happy Days.
Fonz, and the Fonz won.
He's a karate guy, wasn't he?
He was the karate guy tearing up the cafe or what they're hanging out.
that's-
Yeah,
That's absolutely
Oh,
nuts.
that was
yeah.
about as Archie and Jughead
Right.
as you got.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Oh,
I've been-
and
I've
I'm
been
not sure if
busy
anyone's
doing-
into.
Been busy doing artwork, doing
Nice.
Oh, let's see.
designing a
that.
bunch.
Oh,
of-
nice.
This is based on Bernie Wrightson's Swamp Thing number 4.
Nice.
Different. These are some things that you can get with the campaign that have been. These are promos that have double-sided. That'll be
Nice.
you'll be getting with the book. You get 3 bookmarks. I didn't really like. I'm going to do a glow in the dark series on these bookmarks and trading cards, promo cards for the campaign. The cover there to the ash can, and but yeah, I've been doing these bookmarks for the greater full book campaign. Going to do some glow in the dark bookmarks in a whole series with Bog, which is my most developed character. He's in a 9-page story called Grave Tales in sort of my anthology comic book, and so I've been working out some bookmarks to do in glow in the dark and things like that. And here's an oversized. Mine will be ash can size, like you were showing. This is just like the preliminary thing, but like I say, Bog's in here. Here's a piece done by me, and acrylic painting that'll be sold on the campaign, done by Doc Blaylock. And but the main title character is Devil Flyer. This will be a trading card done by John Falandes, who drew it, and then Vic King. This was the first thing that Vic drew for me, Devil Flyer. You can see the Walt
Nice.
Simonson influence on that piece. And then coming soon on the main campaign will be a wraparound cover. Here's just the preliminary sketch in pencil, and Peter Palmetti will be inking that. Here's the front cover, and here's the back where the villains are squaring off against the heroes. That'll be within the book. So you get 7 pages of story, and then I hope my camera's doing okay. Sometimes it
Yeah.
pixelates.
Good.
But you have Lady of the Night, retro silver boa there, and the modern day silver boa here, and the bystander, which is kind of like my watcher type character, and he's
Nice.
the only reoccurring character within 2 of the stories. You get 6 stories, 3 horror stories, 3 hero stories, but they're all interlinked. Here's Storm Rider and Slaver there. I wanted to create a character that wasn't just all spandex, and he's a new character. So is this character. Vic's been helping me develop some of these characters. And then my homage to Action Comics #1, where he's picking up the old retro car in a junkyard.
Oh, that's cool.
It's sort of my living mummy there. He's modern day mummy. And then, yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. It's on Indiegogo
Nice.
right now.
What a great.
Mhm.
And you'll
Great
get 3
project.
bookmarks, 2 trading cards, and a 24-page ash can.
That
All
is
for-
amazing.
For
For
$16.
6. Yeah, 10 plus 6
All in
for shipping.
glorious black and white,
$16.
where you can see all
Yeah.
that artwork,
That's worth it.
unencumbered by color.
Oh yeah.
But we're going to do some
Nice.
exciting things with the color, and some stories are going to be in black and white. Some are going to be in black and white and gray tone. And hope to have it 100% done by the time I launch, or pretty close to it. Maybe some dialogue and coloring to do. We'll see how quickly things progress and how the money holds out to pay these artists.
That's right. Gotta pay the artists. There you go.
Got to pay your dues.
It's always good.
If you don't do your own stuff. Now I'm trying to help my campaign by designing stuff myself, but
Yeah.
there's only so much that a person can do, within a limited time span.
Absolutely.
Nice. That's just
Damn,
nice.
They make this place. Oh no.
Oh,
Anything happening? What?
Who made the
speaking
world?
of
Oh, okay.
speaking of things to share, I think I got something here that I'm
Good.
working on.
Yeah, I want to see some of your stuff, Marco. Definitely.
Oh yeah, let me share it soon. Basically, let me.
Is that
never
that's your
mind, I'll add it
Instagram
later.
link right
Rounds.
there?
There's
Oh, yeah.
Marco's Instagram.
Okay.
There it is.
All right, I'm going to click on that
All right.
right now and follow
Check
you
out
if
his
I'm not
stuff.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have my first 1,000 followers over there, and my art. I'm
Good.
pretty sure everyone in the UCA department actually hates me. Yeah, because I'm the bad boy art student back then. Because I wouldn't actually follow instructions, I'd always do my own thing and be like passable about it. It was like, yeah, what you gonna do? Those were the good old days.
Oh,
But
no,
now
man.
I'm. Yeah.
It's all right.
Sorry, talking football.
Yeah, watch a couple of games today.
Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah. It's Americana.
I
All
would-
right.
I would just be there with the ball nachos, but okay.
Yeah, that's
let me
the,
just
that's the
share
best
some of my
thing
one
with
I'm on.
snacks
Yeah.
hmm
anymore.
So you go and share your screen. Yeah, good. Let's go and see what you have, man. Oh.
Where is it? Big
Yeah, you're
folder,
gonna have to
merch
grab the
content.
image. There you go.
Yeah, grab an
And
image.
then, voila. This is what I'm working on, just a cover.
You want to
This
blow
is
that up?
called Mercs Badasses for Our.
Are you doing your own
yeah.
colors?
Pretty much, yes. Believe it or not, I told this to Rini. Even Rini finds it somewhat a Frankensteinish thing, or at the same time just unthinkable. Because believe it or not, this is done in mobile phone. I would draw things traditionally on paper, scan it over to the phone, and then just color it in using the lines.
That's wild.
Everything here is done on mobile phone. Oh yeah, even my own logo piece over here, Pilot Zero name, Rashomon Manga and Comics.
Oh, that's good.
Yep, that's the entire cover for here. It's actually sized by 9x13, but if we're going by file size, this should be at least an 18x24
All right.
inches.
All right.
Yep. Did the cover? Yeah, this
That's good.
project's been like over 10 years, even to the point basically I gave every character their own gun. Like,
Oh,
I would,
wow.
for hours and hours, would create enormous names, colors, designs. Yeah, I
Oh,
made
sweet.
guns too. Even
Oh, rifle. Oh, let's see that. Oh, my
That's
gosh.
part of the world building, isn't it?
It is, man.
Oh
Weapons.
yeah. Yeah. Because it's
Just-
space. What you gonna do with guns? What are you gonna do with guns? Of course, I'm gonna make them differentiate. So I'm actually give them their own lore and design too. Why they're designed that way. And of course, people are asking,
Well, it's
yeah,
kind of like
I like
an
the cover.
extension of the character, right? Like Silver Surfer
Oh yeah.
Surfboard.
Mm-hmm. And to the point, basically, I went to see real life because I've been to Arkansas gun ranges, and I'm like, those are some pretty guns. I'm gonna use them in the comic books. And I
Yeah,
went, and I
baby.
kid you not, I went to the gun range and I saw all the guns I could find, and be like, let's mix and match and make them a little more sci-fi and make them a little bit more practical.
Yeah, I get it.
So,
Each
what
one,
was
each
your
design-
overall impression of Arkansas while you were there?
Believe it or not, that's like my first taste of Americana, where I feel like my own man and learn about the people over there, how it all goes. And people are like, oh, what's there in Arkansas? I was like, what's there in Arkansas? I see comic book people who are actually good, who actually like their good nature, people who actually like to hunt and fish. What's wrong with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
all good.
actually, we're like one of the 4 top hospitable places, to live.
Yeah.
Nice.
We say hello to everyone. You go to Chicago and say hello, even back in the 80s, and they just look at you.
Yeah.
You go
Oh,
to New
just
York and you say hello, and they go, "Hey, brother, can you spare a dime?" I
Mhm.
think
Yeah.
that,
Wow.
when I was up in Manhattan back in the late 80s in 87, I get hit up in one block 3 times.
Oh yeah, it's a
Aw.
shithole up here. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna sugarcoat it.
Sugar
you're-
covered shit.
you're-
There you
I-
go.
It is what it is. It
You're
is what
preaching
it
to the
is.
choir here.
You
I'm not.
got to It's an acquired taste, and you have to take the good with the bad, right, Bobby?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and
It's not a acquired taste. It's just
oh,
Yeah.
just for Bobby, I promise it's not going to be boring because I too am familiar with eye candy. Here we go.
Ooh, look at that. So it's-
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I kid.
I don't have
This
a
is one of my
covered
characters.
version. So.
Yeah, I think that I did this during the Year of the Tiger. I think while everyone's ever their Chinese New Year or whatever, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call her one of the most blue skin
Call her what?
bulletproof characters. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna call her this blue skin bulletproof character in a tiger costume, and be like, oh, happy 2021, people, woohoo! And before you know it,
Nice,
this blew
man.
up on my Instagram.
I could see why.
This is what
That's great.
yeah, and actually, this is what she originally looks like.
Timothy Olsen's a funny guy.
I was
he
actually
is
doing
funny.
some.
Yeah, he's a little
Yeah, I
off.
do some,
It's
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We love you, Timmy.
Yeah.
let's
Sorry,
see what the
Tim.
details were. Okay,
Oh, let's
she's
see.
at least 6'7",
Oh, nice.
186 pounds, very lean, and in a semi-symbiotic bulletproof nanite suit that was actually used for criminals, but now used for, well, let's just say paid soldiering.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mercenaries.
I didn't know you need a
Oh, yeah.
nano suit for that, but
Put
there you
that on
go.
a
folks.
tourism poster.
Yeah, they're really called musculata suits. So basically, they resemble synthetic muscle. So it's kind of like you peel a human person, and what's under that's the musculature.
That's
Now
the
imagine
banana.
a synthetic. Oh, yeah, it meant.
Peel that
imagine.
banana.
So she's a banana, huh?
Mhm. And to
Nice.
make it even better, these things, since they're in a desert environment, that's also one part radioactive and one part unstable. So
Oh,
these
crap.
suits actually keep them alive.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that way you won't go sterile either, hopefully.
Right.
Well, to the mercenary planet, when they got their independence, yes, they have an independent story where they basically were like, hey, we're a planet now full of criminals that decided to actually declare independence. What now? And yes, technically, Earth is the villain here.
Hmm.
Earth government and all that. You know, we were going to take away your rights, your guns, and your awesome suits away. So
That's so far out there. That would never happen. I can't wrap my head around it.
yeah, people kept calling it Space Australia, but I wanted to create Space America.
Space
I could see.
Now, I like that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Space Australia, maybe.
Yeah.
Space
Yeah.
America, I can see that if Texas goes to space and you tell them some things. Yeah,
There
they're
you
not gonna
go.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in Space 1999, if the moon can be blown out of orbit, Texas, along with Apex, can go into space.
Pretty
Sure.
much. Yeah.
Drawing
And more
speed.
for Bobby here. I
Mm.
was actually turning this into bookmarks and wanted to. Well, if I
Oh,
finish the
good.
book,
I'm
I
glad
would
I'm
turn
not
this
the only
into.
one doing bookmarks.
Oh, let's see. Ooh.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep, that's
Nice,
our
man.
protagonist outside of the musculature suit.
Where do I put the quarter? I'm just asking.
Yeah. Quarter in
Nice.
the slot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look at that bedstead there. Okay, death. Wanted
Wow.
poster above it.
That's
Well, technically,
cool.
that's her relative. So in
Oh,
their culture, so basically,
wow.
they don't actually bury the dead. They bury the rest of the. They bury the rest of the remains, but they keep the skulls and be like it's like a family heirloom now, and they actually coat it in some metallic material to keep it preserved.
Now, what is your drawing background, Marco?
Believe it or not, I'm a mix of self-learned
Yeah.
UCA's further study into negative and positive background illustration
Right.
and art instruction schools.
Mm.
Believe it or not.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think even on self-taught, going to college up here, gave me a little bit of the basics, formal training, and I think everybody can benefit that, even self-taught.
Yeah. You can.
Right.
I'm sure even Jack Kirby bought books on drawing, probably, and looked at some of the basic, stuff, or he may have just hit the ground running and kind of made up a bunch of stuff as he went along. But
Watch.
I got inspired to draw literary characters and invest into character design, basically the psychology of making likable characters. It's
right,
because of art instruction schools. Well, Rini got hers from some school, I guess, maybe Kubert. I got mine by literally studying people, how they create literal likable characters by studying EVS,
Mhm.
watching Apex here, how he creates his characters, how he describes them, or Bobby here. It's like downright, it's likable. You don't need to describe anything. It was like, yeah, that's a badass. Period.
I prescribe to the I'm in the school that your definitely characterization's a big part of anything you do in literature, and especially in the superhero genre or the manga genre. But that your heroes are only as interesting as your villain,
Yeah.
as your villains
yeah.
are. Yeah, you got to have a good full. I mean, people want to know. You get the hero or the people into the situation, and then that's the quandary. How are they going to get out of it?
Yeah. Well, believe it or
Solve
not,
the
my
problem.
villain. Oh, my villain's not going to be just any villain. It's not a he, she, or it, because it's going to be a system. Imagine
Okay.
trying to beat Skynet.
Right.
Except Skynet now is just as human as you are. So basically, I'm like, oh, great, this is just as creative as you are. And I created the villain here somewhere.
If it looks
here.
like a sex blow up doll, we're gonna have to kick you.
Nah, I promise it's not that bad. I'm just sharing it now. This is Umbra, or
Umbra.
the living computer.
There you
Imagine you take the smartest dictators, their psyche, their minds, and put it in one giant computer.
Wow.
Yeah, you got Hitler, you got Stalin, you got maybe Mussolini somewhere in the middle, but he's kind of useless at this point. Or maybe Hirohito.
Bullets.
And you got this giant mechanical being just telling you whose rights to take, who doesn't deserve to actually live, and originally this is the planet's warden.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's not all about, oh, he's going to be gigantic, he's going to stomp around. It's like, oh, no, he's a living factory. Why recruit an army when he can create it from his own spare parts?
Yeah, that's kind of like what, not sliding your stuff, but the Sentinels did with the Master Robot back in the X-Men.
I got inspired by that, actually. I read that comic. And
Yeah.
I got the idea for Umbra, but
Okay.
in this case, Umbra is a little more psychologically hitting.
Am
Like,
I
I'm gonna
seeing like a face and a chest and shoulders, or is that just the way
Oh
it's
yeah,
designed? Okay,
that's the head, chest, and shoulders. This is
because it
how
kind of looks
Umbra.
like something out of Robotech.
It kind of
Yeah.
does actually, but I
Yeah.
turned it that way so he looks like a walking factory. The intimidation factor kicks in.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so he basically resembles a giant mechanical god. Well, he has a god complex, so
Hey, man.
there's that. So the problem is
Well, don't we
finds
all?
out that he finds out that all of these prisoners are running about declaring independence of their planet, and he goes, "Wait a minute, this is my planet." And so the war ensues, and he's like, "Hey, Earth, I
Hey,
know you're losing
Manticore.
a lot of capital over here, and you need a lot of weapons. Why don't I instigate a civil war, pull some African Civil War little problems here and there, and put it into space, and maybe you can help me regain back my planet." So technically, we don't know who's who on Earth, who's actually funding this evil robot, but we can also assume it the nations of the United States, Canada, Russia, whoever is actually rich in power. It'd be like, look, I can give you all of the electoral rights as much as you can and cover up your bases. Now help me scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. So basically, this is not just some robot who's going to use brute force. I'm going to use the most basic weakness of all organic beings as possible. Yes, there'll be aliens, easily bribed. Will be oil, rights, civil wars, minerals, you name it. Umbra will provide.
Evil Radio Shack.
That's a
Yeah.
throwback.
Yes.
Right. This is when Radio
man.
Shack decides to
Oh,
take over.
Oh, it gets better. Everyone's like, how does he get the money? Oh, easy.
here's
Every
the stack.
space, Walmart, eBay, anything that actually resembles retail, anything that sells and actually buys in, banks, this robot has it all. He's basically a giant version of Goldman and Sachs, too.
So he's like a giant cruise, basically, if it was an evil robot.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
It's a giant ESG fund. That's what it is,
Oh,
right?
God.
Pretty much. All it takes is basically, you want to suppress some rights, I'm the machine for you. So he's not only just a dictator, but he's also a merchant for dictators itself.
Wow. Merchant for
Like that line.
dictators.
It's like that line from Cobra where it's like, "You're the cure and I'm the disease." But it's like the
Yes,
opposite.
I'm the cure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
You're the
not seen
disease.
that movie since the 80s. Wow.
Oh, it's
Good.
One of my favorites.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh, and it gets better and better and better. Oh yeah. For those fans in my chat who was like, "Do you got any more of those risque shots?" I'm like, "Oh, don't worry, I got more. I
Like there's
never
more.
leave out more."
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
great.
this is Magnolia Moorswalken, everybody. World's greatest sniper and pinup model.
You know, that style reminds me of Donna Barr's Desert Peach. I don't know if you're familiar with Donna Barr, but back in Donna Barr drew Desert Peach. She was a member of my Cartoonist Northwest group when I was living in Seattle, among a bunch of other creators up there. And that style reminds me of Desert Peach. I mean, you know, I'm sure she's probably still self-publishing, but yeah, that's a cool style.
Marco,
And
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask, what's your threshold for like rating in this? Like, is there gonna be like safe for work stuff in there? Is it gonna be not safe for work? I'm always interested in what people answer with that.
I'm somewhat in the middle. Of course, I'm not going to cater to kids. I have standards.
All right. No. That's not what I meant. I meant like, is there gonna be like, I don't know. I'm trying to be eloquent here, but are you gonna like, if you were gonna like, are there gonna be boobs in it? Right?
I mean, oh yeah. I mean, you can see it. I mean, we got everything here from C cups to abs.
No, that's not what I meant. But all right, I got you.
Oh, for some eye candy, Meet the president of the United States, also leading against a coalition against mercenaries.
It's funny you say that
Will you
because
vote?
in my story, I have like a president because the Soviet Union is basically a thing again in my story, which is weird because this was crafted before the whole Ukraine situation, not to start getting into politics because and then everybody in the news is like Putin's trying to bring it back,
Oh yeah.
get the band back together, and
Mhm.
and yeah, so about in my book, the president's like basically like a Playboy model, which is just
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like why not? Be satirical.
Oh, and people ask, how did she get into politics? I was like, don't worry, she's not a dumbass, and she's not a Palin.
Yeah. Or a Harris, maybe.
Or
Yeah.
Harris, yeah.
Just imagine if Trump was a babe and has the
Yeah.
intelligence of Einstein. That's
I don't want to imagine that. If that's okay with you, I'd rather not
don't
imagine
worry.
that.
Yeah.
The
Don't worry.
presidential
Everyone,
claimant of 4 years.
and everyone asked, "Will there be guys over there? Will there be action?" I was like, "Okay, no problem." Meet the captain of the Mercs for Argor Corps. This
Oh, shit.
is known as the Blue Beast, aka Armorclad or Ironclad.
Oh wow.
Giant. Just imagine a giant pale skin version of the Witcher. Just
I like the
6
name.
feet tall.
Yeah.
Just imagine 7 feet tall.
Very
just
image.
lugging around in 320 pounds of bulletproof and explosive armor.
Wow.
And he doesn't identify for Earth for once. I was like, well, what's your equivalent of a good guy America here? Oh, that's easy. That's Mars.
Were you in the manga before you came to the States, or where
Oh
did
yeah.
Yeah.
I was heavily into it. I got into manga first, and then comics came later because of Image. Then I found
Right.
Zine Scope, and then I got addicted into Lady Death. I forgot manga for at least a year because I kept collecting Lady Death.
Yeah. Some Brian Plato goodness there.
Oh yeah.
And the evil Ernie, he did.
I have
Evil
the-
Oh
Ernie.
yeah.
I have the Hellwitch action figure back there with the removable shirt. That's
There you go.
interesting. Yeah, it was an interesting idea for a figure. I'm down with it.
Yeah, I was thinking also getting action figures for these two.
I'm
because
really
also
surprised
thinking
that
of-
they don't have more of that out now, where it has removable garments. I'm sure they're out there, but I haven't seen them.
They should do it. I mean, honestly, listen, if whatever, because that figure made like a boatload of money, and
Trans Superman, gay Superman.
Oh, well, now you sort of
offbeat
was.
Batman. Yeah.
We're not gonna.
pregnant Joker, squeeze
Pregnant
it, and
Joker. Right.
the shit baby
Yeah.
comes out.
What got me about that was not that he was pregnant, but he had a radioactive character delivering the baby. A
Yeah.
comic skull, and I don't think I would want that around my baby.
It was so
Radiation.
stupid.
Right?
Not
Yeah,
a good
no.
combination.
Because
Yeah.
the joke, they make a joke in the book that Joker sort of calls him by the wrong name. He's like, "Oh, Dr. Rosserus." No, I'm the Atomic Skull. Oh, okay.
You bought it,
That's-
didn't you, Bobby? Admit it. You bought the book, and
I did
you're
not.
part of the problem.
No, I watched. Listen, this is why I do it everything. I watch people I like review things I don't like.
There you
So,
go.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah. I do that too.
You can
Yeah.
avoid the potholes in comic book making.
You save your
Oh, yeah.
money.
Exactly.
There
No,
you
well,
go.
first of all, there's that giant site that DC and Marvel refused to do anything about. Readcomiconline.2 or whatever. So,
Oh
it's
yeah.
just- yeah, like there's like everything on there, and they refuse to do anything about it. So, I mean, in theory, nobody has to ever pay for a comic. It's just go. Not to advocate
I'm not
piracy.
opposed to like Gay Pride Month or anything like that. It's just they just force it down your throat. They have Asian special with all their Asian characters, which was
Yeah.
based on an attack and a shooting and I mean that was the impetus of it, right? And even the FBI said that it wasn't racist in content, but then you had the president and the vice president going down there and saying that it was a racist attack, and everything's about race and gender, and it's like, yeah, this is what is destroying nice, wholesome things
Yeah.
like TV shows, movies, comics, you name it.
Video
Mm.
games.
Yeah,
The video games, right? None of
I think-
that has to
everything.
be
Yeah.
doubled down on and emphasized.
I think the problem is people can't be in the center and actually mind their own business anymore, which is also killing our imaginations and content.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gotten to the point basically you either have to be side with this or you side with that. It was like, can it be no one sides at all? I mean,
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
the only allegiance I want here is guns, boobs, and tacos.
Mm.
Sounds like Deadpool in a way.
No
Uh,
way. No way. What?
Really?
Who is this?
Yes.
Captain
Yeah,
America
I saw
thing
that
translates
one.
to vagina? Really?
Vagina
What's
Yeah.
the name?
Hero.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Whose name is Ari. Whoever it was in the R&D in the Marvel department should be either slapped, fired, or taken to church.
That sounds like some sort of like if they had like a sex themed like a restaurant, like that would be like an item on the menu, like the Vagina Hero.
Well,
Yeah.
I imagine if
Yeah,
you look,
I like
if you look, you probably have comics out there that are actually promoting pedophilia and other things like that that are highly controversial. And to me, it's child abuse.
Sex of Captain America
And
number 4.
that's how far the culture has slid, and
I mean,
Uh,
at least in the comic books, that's controllable, and the people have the power to say, we vote no to this, and it happened. But the one thing we can't control is basically whose idea was it to take kids to a drag strip bar to actually learn their ABCDs?
right.
That's
I
terrible.
mean, yeah, I wonder, the moniker of go woke, go broke, but they seem to just be doubling down on it, and they're losing billions of dollars,
Yeah.
literally
Sure.
billions.
The shareholders are pissed, I'm sure.
I'm sitting here going,
But they're afraid to
People-
say anything.
Mhm.
I was like, people, why can't we just settle down and actually think of something that works and not that doesn't work? Because anything that doesn't work, you're going to find yourself waking up one morning and be like, how do you struggle to pay your bills?
Listen,
Bills
man.
exist, people.
Good
It's
point.
just like Field of Dreams. It was just put so simply. You build it, they will come. I wanted a book. What would it be like if Stephen Platt drew Heavy Metal Magazine? Because that's what I want to read. And then if there are people that want to read that, they'll show up. They'll find their way to my doorstep. So
Well,
it's the same thing.
that's what Spider-Man was about. Marco was, how
Mhm.
Aunt May needs an operation or needs to pay the mortgage. How do I come up with money to help her?
Oh, yeah. That
Bill-
was a
you know,
really good story.
That was all part of making the characters more relatable and, everyday living.
Right.
It was at the time. It was, you weren't seeing that. It was comics were campy
Oh, yeah.
to the point of where Batman was almost canceled as a title, and probably Detective Comics too. Until Batman '66 came
Yeah,
out
the show.
with Adam West and sort of revived the franchise and
Which by the way,
embraced the camp, ironically,
Yeah.
of comics.
I don't know
We're
if you
also in
guys-
that keep it safe Hanna-Barbera era as well. But the problem is, even Hanna-Barbera wanted to get out of it, but the problem is whoever was controlling the censor telling them, you can't get past that. If I remember, there was supposed to be a adult-themed Hanna-Barbera series where it's talking about real-life problems with real-life family. What's it called? Wait till your father gets home?
I think I've heard about that.
Would that be set in
Yeah.
the '60s or the '70s or when?
I think it's probably somewhere between there. Because
Okay.
it's already advancing to the part basically they're getting into computers and how computers actually affecting them, taking away their jobs.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah.
I know in the '70s a lot was censored because Ted Kennedy passed some legislation, almost like in the '50s during the MacArthur era, where they were saying that it was too violent for kids to watch things like Johnny Quest and stuff.
Mm.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
he passed legislation that even when Batman and Superman came out in the early '90s, they couldn't show much blood. They had to pass
I
the
bet.
censors, and then you got
Oh,
the
yeah.
PC Super Friends and things like that, where
Yeah,
the
they couldn't
violence
show any blood.
was
It
very
was crazy.
minimal.
Yeah.
And to
Yeah.
me, it killed Saturday morning cartoons in a way.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. I
Yeah,
miss
I
Saturday
think
morning cartoons.
I'm not sure if any of 90s kids were here. I think I was actually one of
Yo.
its victims when the legislation came, when SWAT Cats first came out.
Oh! Oh, I
for
love that
Electra, yeah.
show.
Yeah, it turns out the Tremblay brothers got it back, but the problem is they were so late, they don't have the funds for it. That's why they kept asking Patreon or something like that to bring back SWAT Cats for a sequel.
Wow.
I don't know
Yeah,
if I would
SWAT
want
Cats
that.
was on early Cartoon Network and was
Mhm.
wonderful cartoon. A lot of fun.
Wow.
I don't remember being that violent, honestly.
It was
'cause I
kind of
remember-
the Top Gun of the cartoons.
Oh yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Top Cat. Yeah.
and
It's
I
a
love
good
Top
show.
Gun, so.
Oh, before I really.
Have you
Oh, yes.
seen Top Gun Maverick?
3 times.
Oh yeah,
already.
that's a good one.
Oh, 3 times
good.
already. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
There you go.
phenomenal.
Speaking of SWAT Cats, for those who are in the chat or into that thing, yes, I can draw something like
Oh.
this, and actually it's included in the comment. Meet Private Munch. Half woman,
Right.
half shark, all mercenary.
Private Munch. That's wild.
Yeah, and because of her shark physiology, she can't get drunk. She just enjoys the flavor.
Oh,
Hmm.
man.
Does she drink Bloody Marys?
I don't think those are Bloody Marys. I
Wow.
think there's like a combination of energy drinks and liquor.
Okay.
Wow, that sounds disgusting, actually. Energy
Yeah.
drinks and liquor. Wow.
Yeah, I
Energy
think there's something like that in Arkansas was a big fire craze about it, and people were like telling people not to drink too much, or else it will actually rupture your heart.
Was it
What's it
4
called?
Loko?
Yeah, yes,
Loko,
Four
I think.
Loco. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's still around.
she equivalently drinks something like at least a 2-liter version of those cans.
Oh my god. That's
Wow.
I can't
That's a lot.
imagine feeling like that. After how I would feel after drinking that.
It just gives her a
Timothy
sugar
Olsen.
high instead.
Raptors and fighter jets. Oh,
Yeah, there's a whole B plot going on with this guy's comments. Like we'll be here.
Absolutely,
talking about something.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just
You-
loving to share. I'm kind of
Well,
like Greenie was
you're
loving to
giving
share.
Timothy Olsen his next 3 issues of comics. You know, for,
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
you have.
karate. What was it? Karate Zombies.
Karate
Yeah.
Zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
About that.
with Private Munch's case, because every merc needs a good pilot. Her case is I can pilot any starship, helicopter, 4-wheel buggy. Yeah, that's her.
Oh, interesting.
Despite her size, she's pretty much she has the racing ability of any NASCAR driver you can name.
Wow. That
Dale
works.
Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah.
She has it too, even Schumacher if you wanted to. But most of the time, she's stuck with her Texas accent when she's not even from Texas. Nobody knows why.
So when can we expect, for this to be released, Marco and Bobby, your prospective projects? Any time?
So I am hoping by about March or April to go in the pre-launch. I like to say
Okay.
what I'm doing right now is pre-launch. I'm just building up hype. So when that page goes up on IGG it's probably gonna be IGG. That there's just as much hype surrounding as possible, and then just capitalizing on it. And I'm hopefully going to launch probably June, July. So yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I'm still working on mine, and I'm currently still making pages. Like I said, I got a real job as a graphic designer, and last but not the least, I'm also working on this on the night. So I'm gonna need lots of energy drinks, and this is just a sample of actually what I'm working
Well,
on
don't
right now.
explode your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
Careful
caffeine
with that.
fiend too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
have
am-
about 2 of there.
I am not half shark, people.
Well, drink it while you're young, because when you get older, yeah, you're gonna have trouble drinking that. Surge
no.
type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is. Artists, that's like the national drink, the national cuisine of artists is some form of something that's bad for you. Like
Yeah,
energy drinks, pretty much.
long nights working at the art desk.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, if you really want to take it that way, I heard Stan Lee had bottle of scotch under his desk one time.
A
I believe
bottle of, what do you mean? Like under his desk, like just chilling there?
Scotch. Yeah, it's just there, like maybe a couple of glass or two.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
it's
I
just
mean,
there for
during
special
the
occasions.
'60s, I mean, they had bars and you seen Mad Men.
Yeah,
It-
yeah.
It was kind of like that, you know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
cocktails and yeah.
Well, you
It's
know,
the
they had
cocktails. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had Steranko up there, and to me, Steranko was basically like James Bond in real life. So you know he just has a martini in hand at all times, maybe like a pistol with a silencer underneath his
There you go.
three-piece
Yeah.
suit.
Bond with
Right.
white hair.
Mhm.
Basically,
Yeah.
he is. You have some
Yeah.
women around him. Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course. No,
Yeah.
he's another guy. Just absolutely everything you expect, you get. I've met him like 4 or 5 times. One time he actually held a seminar about storytelling, which was fascinating to be a part of, and just he lived up to billing, and that's so great whenever that happens.
Well, he used to work in a circus, was an escape artist. He did a lot before he even came into comics.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, have you
yeah.
ever checked out his basically his excerpt of his autobiography that sadly has never really been published other than this one I guess like comic, but it's like a 23-page comic, but just all filled with text, and it's just
Interview,
autobiography.
right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
have
Yeah.
that. I have
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
Crazy stories. I was laughing my ass off.
Is
reading
that a
some of the
comic
stuff.
journal? What
Yeah,
was that in?
I've got it's a History of Comics Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Oh,
Oh
volume
no,
one
no,
and
no,
two.
no!
Oh.
This is Graphic Prince of Darkness. I think it's called. It's the one with
Oh,
him
it's-
smoking on the cover.
Oh, that's a
Okay.
different one. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, this is his like life story. And he's
All
got
right.
some wild stuff in there.
Graphic
Like,
Prince
damn.
of Darkness. I wish they would have released that. I'd like to get a copy of that.
Hold on, I think you can find it on eBay for like $7 or $8. It's really
No, it's true, Bobby. We were actually talking about Steranko earlier today on my show, and he only photographs with women, right? Not men.
It's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is. I saw that in person. Here,
And if you have a
actually-
girl, a good-looking girlfriend or wife, he'll probably hit on them.
Of course.
Wow. Yeah.
This
There's
is-
no shame.
There you go. Blow that up.
This-
Let's see.
This is what I've been referring to.
Yeah.
Graphic
Oh,
Prince of
yeah.
Darkness.
I've seen that cover.
Yep.
I
It's
did.
just.
Whoa, that's badass.
I want to
You
get that.
you also get some pretty neat. Like there is some pictures in here. Like this is the from this famous one.
Yes.
But
Yep.
but you get some of his unreleased work. He did a Dante's Inferno story. I didn't realize how much of his work is just pencil. Like this is all just dark, black colored pencil, according to him, which is really insane. How you could get that level of just
It looks like it's
crispness with
inked.
I thought that too. According to him, it's all really like colored pencil, but the black one.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what he says. I'm gonna listen to him, but I thought it was ink too.
That's
But
absolutely
yeah,
great.
but you get some really wild stuff here. You get his
Perez
storyboards.
did some of that, although they weren't as heavily dark in New Teen Titans.
You get
Oh,
some of
shoot.
his. Yeah,
Or
he did.
something.
He did storyboards for the Dracula movie with
Okay.
with Francis Ford Coppola.
That's what a lot of people don't get, Bobby, is that it's all about lighting. I
It
think
is.
Frank Miller and Jim Steranko kind of brought that in,
Oh, yeah.
with the heavy blacks and Bernie Wrightson as well in a way. It's all about
Hey, Space
lighting
for
and
Life.
cinema shots and making it dynamic.
But yeah,
That's good.
absolutely.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
It's an awesome book. Yeah.
pick it up. You'll definitely not regret it, for
Oh,
sure.
that's good. Very cool.
And the title of that again, Bobby?
For all you at home, one last time, it is called The Graphic Prince of Darkness, Volume 1. Unfortunately, to date, the only volume ever released. This was supposed to be like a preview ash can of his autobiography that unfortunately has since yet to materialize. I really would love a full.
Who published that, Bobby?
I think what that guy that's always I
It looks
forget
like
what.
Caliber or Aftershock or something like that.
No, he has a like someone that works with him closely, J. David Spurlock. I forgot what the name
Nice.
of his. I forgot what the name of his publishing house is, but it's that. Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. I'll get one more thing. Hold on, because they published this too. I think it's called
Tomorrow's book, is it?
Tomorrow's
Vanguard Press. Vanguard Press.
Vanguard Press. Okay.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
I also got
Okay.
this, which is
Oh, yeah.
his art exhibition. I think this version signed. Yeah, this is a signed version. I'm a Steranko simp. I love everything this man has done.
And the title
yeah.
of that one?
Oh, this is Steranko Arte Noir. Arte Noir. I actually technically do have mutton chops. I did the Wolverine thing where I
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
mutton
cut the
chops. There you go.
mustache.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the ultimate. Like the other thing was good. If you want some good stories of Steranko's life, that's a good pickup for $10. But this is what separates the men from the boys in the Steranko realm. This is like $100. You get pretty much all of his work because this was released for his art exhibition, and
Yeah.
he got it. Yeah, he got it. This was a accompanying book for it, but definitely, I could talk about Steranko all day and night. Phenomenal human being.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Nice. That's badass.
That's
Thank you.
cool.
Oh, speaking
Yeah.
of pretty
Hey,
good
look, boobs.
works- yeah, yeah. Believe it or not, I forgot about this. I used this to actually use it as a get well card for a friend, and I decided like, nah, he doesn't want one of them Hallmark get well cards. So I'm gonna create my own.
You should. That's great. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Made this in Arkansas,
How
and if
long-
anyone,
How long have you been drawing?
9 years actually. It started out just trial and error as a kid until I went to school, then actual school, then training with school, then finally getting my certificate in graduates in school, and still kept on drawing since.
How about you, Bobby? How long you been drawing?
Since I was like 4, actually. I actually was doing comics before I knew what they were. I would draw little pictures, and then I'd have like words above them saying what, and I had no conception what comic books were, but my mom says I would draw pictures and there would be the people saying words above them, and that's, to me, that qualifies as comics. So I was doing that since I was 4 years old, sort of. But I would just be drawing, like, I would copy a picture of something I liked or whatever. I didn't really get seriously back into it until college-ish. And then after college, I went to the Kubert School, and then here I be now.
All right. Well, congrats.
Nice.
All right. It's been going over 2 hours. So, yeah, go ahead and share. What do you have here, man? Is that cover? What was that?
Oh, hold it. Believe it or not, I said a true. I think that we had this conversation before we ever streamed with each other with this. I said a true artist never stops drawing wherever he's into.
I agree.
And I kid you not, I drew this in a moving bus, 2 hours from work, half asleep, and did this on the phone because I kept. Even Shock Rini, I think she hasn't seen this one. This is my newest one. I showed Rini where my screenshot of my comic so far, and this is my prototype actually. Voila. This is everything done on cell phone, like just on the phone. Each page.
Damn. That's
the
insane.
original cover page, 2 art pages.
It's really good.
First page in color and black and white.
You do an entire comic on a phone, right?
Oh yeah, I even do this not.
That's really good.
I kid you not. It's like there's no such thing as you can't be an artist because you're limited. You have to be really observant what you have around you.
That's true. You do.
And people say, but you need this or that or to become a comic book artist. And I'm like, sir, I did this on a phone.
Yeah. Print it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And right
the way
now,
to
this
go.
is a sample so far. I still have the original drawn ones in my other laptop, but it's not charged now because it's battery's busted. So I'm replacing that soon
Oh.
with a delivery. But this is the sample I have right now that actually screams. This everyone's like, but comics are hard. I'm like, I did this on a bus with half asleep, with only 2 cups of coffee, and surrounded by
Only 2.
sweaty men. They're probably hairy for all I know.
That last
On a
detail is important.
On a phone.
There is
On a
nothing
phone.
impossible. Yeah.
Awesome,
That's
man.
unusual,
Awesome.
though. Not everyone could do that. I have to admit.
Oh,
That's
I
pretty good.
think I have the enlarged version. Like I did the sketch first, and then tried to ink it in via the phone. This is one of the fight scenes.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's all detail too.
A lot of energy. Yeah.
My gosh. It's pretty
Speed
good.
lines.
Yeah, Sky speed lines in the manga. Oof. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is just the sparring session, but I made it so intense. Like I have the entire session here. It's like somewhere around here if I can zoom in. Here.
What are some of your
Yeah, it's
manga
stuck-
influences, real quick? Like Akira? What?
Believe it or not, Ghost in the Shell, Appleseed, and
Yeah.
a video game named Metal Gear Solid because of the military environment it has, like the world of espionage,
Wow.
special operations, and that's why the muscular suits like they look like that way is because you need movement. You don't need anything holding you back while you're doing operation, and this proves it because there's some dude in 1-ton armor and she's already doing all kinds of damage with said 5'8" guy in Iron Man-esque armor.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
superb.
guys, it's been wonderful having you on here.
It is. Thanks
Oh,
for
yeah, will do.
showing off.
Well, thank you
what
for
have.
having us. I really, really
Absolutely.
appreciate it. Thank you for just letting us
I'm
talk
so
a bit.
happy and thankful for you letting me show up what I'm working on.
Well, I'm glad you guys came on.
Apex,
Yeah.
you got time to show your film bat trailer. Come on.
I will show my film.
Show it. Show it.
Show
I'm
it.
still figuring out my mailing list. If you guys can figure out how to do a mailing list, let me know because I'm having trouble. I don't know why.
MailChimp. MailChimp is a good one.
MailChimp? Okay.
MailChimp. It's a free site. I think you get up to like a few thousand for free, a few thousand emails, which should be enough. But yeah.
All right.
Oh man, that looks awesome.
Coming soon on a mailing list through MailChimp. Yes, I'll have the sign up page eventually up there for Fanbat. Apex Rex Control. You know, we're actually talking about our Golden Age characters joining forces. My Madam X and his
Oh,
Silver
definitely. And
Bullet.
Apex is going to do a Sea Demon segment for me.
Yeah, I'll do Sea Demon and yeah,
Yes.
Silver Bullet book. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's right.
Eric.
If
Ooh.
you haven't hit
Rex.
that smash like button,
Hey, Rex. Smash the like button, ring bell for notifications. Share this video stream, guys, and comments below.
do.
Much appreciated. Need more comments. All right. So thanks, guys, for being on here. Thanks to the mighty chat and the people watching and the people watching on Rewind. Thank you so much. Come back anytime, guys, if you have something going on and promote your books if it's coming out. You're welcome to
Absolutely.
come back on and promote. So
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We'll do.
all right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of the evening. Have a good week. And there's Devil Flyer was Ashcan. Buy Devil Flyer today.
That's right. Being
Trying to
printed
get
up.
to $1,000. We're trying to get there.
Oh yeah, $80 away from $1,000. Yeah,
Great project.
and going to be closing out.
Peace.
It's being printed up right now, so
Hmm.
excited about that. Fulfillment, get that out and go on to the larger book. I can't wait.
That's right. All right, guys. I'm gonna play the intro back here. Farewell, Ink Warriors. Yes, Ink Warriors.
Here's
Ink
also my
Warriors.
channel.
Oh, that's right. And is that the name of your YouTube channel, Ink Warriors? Or no, it's just
Oh, no. I'm just saying goodbye to everybody here. It's actually saying peace and out.
oh, there you go. Peace out.
There you go.
You have a YouTube channel, right, Marco?
It's pretty empty. No content as of so far. Just an Instagram page and a Twitter.
Well, get that channel rolling, man. Try to do 2 videos for this week. How about that? Think you can do it?
Yeah. You know
It's a
what?
challenge.
Since I'm already into this job and I've already got enough power drinks to actually keep me awake for the next week. Yep, I'm gonna do that.
I
Yeah,
have
do
a
it.
I have a
Drop your
channel.
link and get some subscribers, whether you
Yeah,
got
drop your
content
link
or
in there.
not.
Before we
I've-
sign off.
Right.
Yeah, I have a channel. It's just my name. I think I dropped the chat earlier tonight. I have Buzz, the artist Buzz, frequently on my channel, and he says some of his wild stories. Check it out.
Go ahead. Yeah. Put that in the
Yeah,
link.
build that channel.
Share it.
Oh,
Build
trust
that
me,
channel.
people. This guy is the real Ink Warrior, the Bobby Chrisaf.
Oh, thanks, Marco. I appreciate it,
Yeah.
man.
That's good stuff.
There you go.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good network.
Apex gave me the same challenge. He says, I want to see 2 videos up by next week. And I had 6 for him. So, and I was
There you
off to
go.
the races. So,
Awesome.
it helps to challenge yourself, learn
Yeah,
new things.
Put a fire under your butt. Get going.
That's right.
That's the way to do it. All right. Thanks, everyone. And I'm going to go ahead and share. Bang. And it will be
Bow.
bow for now.
Ciao.
Hail, hail, hail and hail.
Nice.